grand final of 2014 thanks to Dance Nightclub in Berwick and Insurance Advisor Net South East. The game is underway. Jumping high there was Meyer, taps the ball down to Mitchum. He was held on to. Advantage has been paid. Off the half-back flank for Cranbourne is Russ. He couldn't collect the football. Johnson gets a hand pass to Dodsworth. Breaking through there. Daniel Johnson leaves the ball behind. Here come Cranbourne in numbers. Russ, the no-look hand pass finds Curtis Barker. Finds Max Gearon. He takes a bounce. He's looking for an option further afield. He continues to run. Now he kicks it towards Michael Theodoridis. The ball bounces just in front of him. He gives a don't argue to a couple of players. The ball went to Barker. His kick was smothered nicely there by Miss Licky. Now it's Swaja for Beaconsfield. Long aside forward 50. Hoosh runs under the football. Morris doubles back. Gets a hand pass into space. It's Chris Fletcher there for Beaconsfield. He cuts the ball off. The Eagles another entry inside forward 50. It's through Damien Johnson, who's been wrapped up from behind, holding the footy. Great tackle there.
Great tackle and a bit of a thank you very much.
By Glenn Osborne, who goes by hand to Curtis Barker. Bouncing football for Ryan Jones. Predicted as one of the better players today. Gets around his opponent too easily there, Jones. It's a kick looking for Lee Holt. The punch away there. Nice play by the Beaconsfield defence. The inboard hand pass misses its target. Mitchum goes in and applies a strong tackle there for Beaconsfield. The ball's been wrapped up on centre wing.
Yeah, it's all happening here. It's very intense at the moment. Everyone feeling each other out.
So Boland or Meyer gets run into. No free kick paid. Beaconsfield kick the ball forward. It's a loose football there for that man Johnson to try and get onto the crumbs, but he's beaten to it by Nick Barker, who kicks the ball forward. Misses its target there, his brother Curtis, and the ball bounces out of bounds on centre wing in front of a big crowd there at Edwin Flack Reserve. Grand Final 2014 on KC Radio 97.7 FM. The ball's thrown in. Boland takes the back position and just taps the ball down. Tries with the roving. Was ineffective. Wrapped up in a tackle there, Ryan Jones. The ball spills free now. Can Beaconsfield build from centre wing? The pressure's intense. Curtis Barker goes in. Applies a strong tackle. Brings the ball to ground. And the umpire's going to throw it up.
So far, it's a very congested game. And it looks like it's going to set itself up to be that way the entire game.
So Boland against Meyer, tap down. Jones was wrapped up in a strong tackle, not given an inch there by McPherson. Our boy, Nick McPherson, straight into the action there for Beaconsfield. He's got a tagging role with Ryan Jones. So throw up, Meyer in the best position to tap it down. Mitchum under some pressure, ineffective disposal. Big pack of players around the loose football in the centre corridor now. Beaconsfield trying to surge the ball forward. Coming up to meet it there. Russ leaves the ball behind. No one can collect it. Strong tackle there by Fletcher. He's been penalised for a hold against Damien Johnson of Beaconsfield. And he'll take the free kick at centre half forward for Beaconsfield.
Yeah, you just see that ball. There was no clear disposal. They just pushed it up and up and up.
Well, the short pass, bouncing football. Hughes has to wait. Ineffective hand pass coming forward was nearly a throw. Curtis Barker goes in a second time. Gets the ball towards Glenn Osborne. He was tackled about it. The umpire says play on. Miss Licky to Fletcher. Fletcher from 30 metres out for the first goal of the final. No. Through for one behind.
Disappointing kick there. Really should have settled and had the clear shot on goal. It's about 20 metres out. No excuse. Should have put it through. Cranbourne on the rebound.
Chris Fletcher, one of the nominees for the $500 Player of the Final Series. That would have been a good start for Beaconsfield as Barker brings it in. The short pass finds Boland. Big game for Michael Boland today. Will nearly set up Cranbourne's victory, you'd think. It's going to be a crucial contest against Scott Meyer. Boland goes for a stab pass, finds Valla. He's been in some exciting form as well during the finals, Anthony Valla. He's built like a whippet. He brings it out broadcast side where Michael Theodoridis, his arms just glistening in the sun, takes a mark on his chest. Still too far out to score. He's on centre wing. Holt's moving towards the interchange. Bency just goes high and long. Holt has Battleland to beat coming through there. Swaja couldn't take the mark. The Beaconsfield player there. Nice work by Jaden G. Goes back by hand. They're under some pressure. Meyer. Now Swaja. The kick around the body, but no one's there for Beaconsfield. Taking the mark, Theodoridis. He plays on quickly. Another entry inside forward. 50. Holt! He took the front position. Really uncontested in the end, and the big man's taken a mark. He's looking to get the ball moving quickly. Goes long inside forward 50. Valla and Jock going through there. Dodsworth gets his hand to the football and taps it towards the boundary line.
Really interesting matchup there. Jock taking on Valla just in defence there. The height difference is going to really take its toll, I think, coming into this game.
Dangerous position here for the Beaconsfield defence. Meyer just circling. Up he goes against Thal. They smash the ball into each other. Thale goes again. Punches it towards space. Cranbourne. Can they set up a play here? That's good play by Hugo. Gets through traffic. Kick forward. Oh, the mark was dropped there by Curtis Barker. Was that a free kick against Swaja? Not paid. Ryan Jones close to the boundary line. Tries to dance his way through. Couldn't do so. Ineffective disposal. The ball falls to Swaja, who kicks it out towards the half-back flank. They contest the 2-on-1 contest in favour of Cranbourne. Can they keep the ball in play? They can. Hugo goes inside to Vella. The kick around the body by Vella off the side of the boot and through for one behind.
Well, this is the first time we've had some decent, consistent scoring attacks now, and players aren't still settling down.
So 1 point each, 6 minutes of play gone. Miss Slicky, the captain of Beaconsfield, does well, goes towards centre wing. Osborne and Fletcher. Fletcher from Beaconsfield couldn't take the mark. He's got 2 to beat on his hands and knees. Tries to keep the ball in. Glenn Osborne goes through, gets it out to Nick Barker. He hears the voice as Matt Fletcher. He leaves the ball behind. Coming through was Dodsworth. He socketed it into space. We're going to see a foot race. It's Morris who beats Hughes. The kick around the body by Morris has been cut off. A great intercepted mark there by Chris Fletcher. He plays on. Kick inside forward. 50 to Pollard. He drops a mark he should have taken. Hit him in the breadbasket. The ball comes straight out and out of bounds.
Disappointing there. Pollard really should have taken that mark. Great play by both teams early on in this grand final. Really looking forward to a great contest as the game goes on.
So 6-7 minutes of play of this first quarter in the 2014 grand final. It's 1 point apiece. Boland taps the ball down there to Fletcher. He couldn't shake the tackle of Mislicky. Is that holding the football? Damien Johnson goes in on top of the pack, and the ball's going to be wrapped up on the paint of 50.
Yeah, now they're starting to make a few interchanges already, both sides. They've got a lot of players lined up, so it is pretty tight at the moment.
Broadcast side of the ground here at Edwin Flack. Hughes doing the ruck, taps it down. Russ tackled about it, no free kick on his hands and knees. Gearin gets the ball going forward. This is good play by Cranbourne. Russ, the inside hand pass to Lee Holt, gets a bad bounce, gives a don't argue, says come and get me. The ball spills to Curtis Barker. The umpire's letting it go close to the Cranbourne interchange bench. In goes Lincolns. Was that too high? Yes. The free kick's gone the way of Max Gearin.
Geez, I think Lee Holt was lucky to get away with that. He shrugged off 2 tackles and fumbled the ball. So they let it go, though, the umpires, which is good umpiring. The players want that.
He uses his barging skills to his advantage. This Lee Holt, the inside pass here, looking for Lindsay. Couldn't take the mark. Good punch away by Damien Johnson. At the foot of the football, though, it's Russ. Bumps off Fletcher. The kick around the body's going to make it hard for Thale. He has 3 to beat. Loose football for Dodsworth. He gets a push in the back by Tim Smith. And the free kick will go the way of Beaconsfield. Dodsworth has been one of their good players, rotating between the half-back line and half-forward line all final series. He sees McPherson in space. He goes that way. Jones gives a push in the back. No free kick paid. Oh, Gearin goes through. Applies a strong bump to McPherson. Provides the space to Jones. He goes further afield and finds Tim Smith, who's taken the mark. Stagnant play forward of him, so he goes long, hoping that Vella can use his pace against G. He collects the loose football now. Vella, in 2 minds, he swings back around and goes long to the hot spot. They need a mark, they contest. And it's the Beaconsfield Ruckman Meyer as a loose man who's taken a good mark. He's played on quickly. There could be a turnover. Gearin couldn't claim the mark. Damien Johnson goes in for Beaconsfield. Here's the voice. It's McPherson in space on centre wing, broadcast side of the ground. He goes long, looking for walking Jesus. Taylor Joyce, he couldn't take the mark. The ball spills to Miss Slicky. The hand pass looking for McDermott, but the boundary line beats all players. The ball is going to be thrown in.
Having a look at Beaconsfield's forward line compared to Cranbourne, they don't really have the really tall, strong target like Cranbourne do.
No, they don't. Getting into the back of Lindsay there was Kerrigan. No free kick. The ball goes again. Taps the ball into space. Coming up to meet it, though, was Weller. He receives a don't argue by Mislicky, so it was actually Morris who got pushed. But Mislicky received a free kick for too high there against Lindsay. So 70 metres out in front of the Cranbourne interchange bench. What do you call this? Grandstand side of Edwin Flack Reserve. So Mislicky kicks the ball in, hoping to find a lead. As Pollard is come out to meet it. Pack of players around that football, but at the fall of it was Pollard sliding in and taking a good mark on his chest.
Great mark there, and this is a really good chance for them to stand up, line up, and this is going to be the first goal of the game if he can put this through. The great start to Beaconsfield if he can put it through.
The former Dolphin, now Eagle, Scott Pollard, from 40 metres out on a 35-degree angle. We need a goal. 10 minutes into the first quarter. In comes Pollard. He made his name as a defender, and that ball was kicked like one. Lucky to get through for one behind, but that's enough to take the lead. Beaconsfield 2 points, Cranbourne 1. 10 minutes of play thanks to Dance Nightclub in Berwick. Check out their Facebook page for all their crazy drink specials. As the kick in by Barker finds Brandon Osborne, who's taken the mark. He plays on to Lee Holt. Battery run down from behind, but he gets his pistons going and kicks it long. No one there for Cranbourne, and a courageous attempt at mark by Tom Jock. He brings the ball inside, plays on quickly, sees Swaja at full stretch, takes the mark, he looks to play on, no. He's been held up there by Pearce, the umpire's called him to play on, so rush for a kick, Swaja goes long, they need a mark, but reading the play nicely there for Cranbourne was Matt Russ. Gets a hand pass to Glenn Osborne, they're going to break towards the wet area here at Edwin Flack Reserve. Glenn Osborne clears defensive 50, looking for Thal of Cranbourne. G was there, worried him out of the contest, now they compete on centre wing. Tim Smith jumps in as third man in, and the umpire's penalised holding the footy. Well, they're red hot there against Johnston. He wasn't given much opportunity at all. Cranbourne play on through Pearce. That time it was Damien Johnston. He wasn't even watching and made a smother. Now there's a pack of players around the football. Daniel Johnston goes in, applies a tackle, and the ball's going to be thrown up. There's some whistle happening off the play. There seems to be a blood rule, and it is a Beaconsfield player. I think it's Damien Johnston coming towards the bench.
Well, good, hard, tough football there in that contest. Played between the two 50-metre lines. And again, the teams really aren't getting much clean disposal at all. And just feeling each other out.
So a cut above the eye there for one of the Johnston twins. It's Damien. He's been replaced by Mitchum. So just a bit of a delay.
Gives everyone a chance to catch their breath.
Yes.
And load up and go again.
Me included.
Very congested ball around the throw-up too.
Yeah, congested play. It's going to be a feature in this early part, you would think. G receives a hand pass from Mitchum, goes long. Caught at the back there was Pollard, but reading the play nicely once again was Russ. Took the mark on his chest, always used the ball well, sees Lee Holt on the outer side who's taking the mark. So they're quite prepared at the moment, Cranbourne, just to hold on to the play and find the best option. Holt tries to go as long as he can. They couldn't take the mark at the front. The ball spills now to Hermans. In some space, he needs to collect it. Now he does. Goes by hand back to Lee Holt. Tries the break through the 1-2 back to Lee Holt. He's playing well in this first 10 minutes of play. Lee Holt's kick towards his brother Mark. He couldn't take the mark at full stretch. The ball comes back now to McPherson of Beaconsfield. He can go to Burton Challow. That's decided against. It goes towards Meyer. Closing in Hermans. Affects the spoil. Meyer has to bend down. Does well. Gets the hand pass there towards the ball Kerrigan, who breaks the line and kicks it long. Looking for Taylor Joyce. He flies. He couldn't take the mark. Osborne leaves the ball behind. Going in Taylor Joyce. Gets a hand pass to Dodsworth. Entry inside forward 50. They need a mark from Pollard. He couldn't do so. The ball spills to Miss Slicky. The captain can kick the first. Beaconsfield lead by 7 points. Yeah, the first goal of the grand final going the way of Miss Slicky.
Great goal there from Miss Slicky. Great captain's goal. Just his run through the midfield there to collect the spoiled mark as Kane catches his breath there. Really good goal. Now Beaconsfield can settle down. The first one's out of the way. They can settle down now. They can have a quick breather as the ball comes back to the middle and settle. Really set up a good win here. Great play from Beaconsfield.
Yeah, you'll notice that each contest that won, the marking contest, there was one Beaky guy up, one on the floor, ready for the spoils, and it came down. That's the way it all went forward. So they were backing each other up beautifully there.
So waiting for the play to start. Lindsay's now in the ruck against Meyer. The big men collide, tap down, Mitchum collects it, sweeps the hand pass out nicely to Burton Challow. He sees a player in space. Running onto it now is the Beaconsfield player in Hollick. Entry inside forward 50, looking for Joyce. The big man flies and takes a good contested mark in front of Weller.
A good solid mark that, wasn't it?
He's going to have to be a player. They're going to have to look at shutting down this afternoon. Yeah. He's already taken 3 great marks early in this grand final. He's having a shot on goal. He'll kick it from just outside the 50-metre arc. He's going to have to go to the right point post.
Yeah,
Taylor Joyce.
Exactly as you said, Trent, right place.
Taylor Joyce, who was told to cut his mullet, so he grew a beard instead. Now he's got a mullet for a beard. In he comes from 15 metres out. He's going to take his best effort from here, you would think. The Dandenong Stingray, was touched on the mark. Barker's there for Cranbourne. Nick brings it out, broadcast sign for Boland, who takes the mark in front of Hollick. The Cranbourne ruckman on the half-back flank just goes short. On a long lead was Thal, but getting in and taking the mark for Cranbourne was Brandon Osborne, who gives Jaden G a don't argue. And Jaden G got thrown to the ground. No reversal there. It's Osborne right in front of the 97.7 FM broadcast position. Goes towards Lee Holt. He's got 3 to beat. The numbers went out for Beaconsfield. Pollard sees Kerrigan. Battery run down by Tim Smith. The umpire says play on. The hand pass falls to Nick Barker, who sees Fletcher. The classy midfielder from Cranbourne spins around. Entry inside forward 50. They need Holt. The ball bounced off his chest, but gets a hand pass to Theodoritis. Another one. Strike back for Cranbourne. 1 point the margin, 15 minutes of play. Cranbourne 117, Beaconsfield 128. The Golden Greek has joined the party.
Not sure if it was a drop kick through there, a bit of arrogance, but that's the Golden Greek for a bit of showmanship as well. But it was well battled by Mark Holt. He and Bataglan battled, bodied each other, fell to the ground, and he got the tap out to go beat Cranbourne's way. So it's a great goal for Cranbourne, a great team goal.
Great play too. Mark Holt took his player out of the contest, which allowed Theodoridis to run into the open goal, and we're back to 1 point ball game. So very exciting grand final so far, and the crowd are really getting into it, which is good to see.
Yeah, plenty of support for both teams on hand here this afternoon. So Boland and Meyer once again. The ball comes out towards Curtis Barker. Collects one high from Swaja. No free kick. But cutting off the hand pass for Fletcher. Straight again. Straight to Lee Holt. He's been everywhere. Centre in the midfield now on the half-forward line. Holt quickly inside. Forward 50 looking for Theodoridis who couldn't take the mark. Murphy was there. He was worried out of it. McPherson gets a too high bump. No free kick paid. Oh, wrapped up strongly there was Murphy. Good work by Swaja of Beaconsfield. And the ball's going to be thrown up.
Yeah, another contested play. It looked like it was going to open up, and now it's all body on body.
So Boland taps it down. Trying to get it out there was Mitchum. His first grab was a fumble, and that allowed enough time for a tackle from Murphy. So a secondary throw up as Damien Johnson looks to return the field after having his eye heavily bandaged. Meyer taps it down. Ryan Jones with speed. Breaks open the pack. Breaks a tackle. Gets a hand pass to Glenn Osborne. Another kick inside forward 50. Holt was caught out of the pack. Battleton read the play nicely. Takes the game on. Kicks it out there towards a 2-on-1 contest. Bouncing football. Oh, coming in to add some support there. Nice work there by Tim Smith. Gets the hand pass towards the Cranbourne player in Curtis Barker. Now Fletcher, the kick around the body on the lead. Theodoridis reads the play nicely. Taps the ball to himself. The kick around the body by the Golden Greek is kick too. Michael Theodoridis back-to-back goals, and Cranbourne have the lead for the first time today. They go to 2-1-13, leading Beaconsfield 1-2-8. 5 points the margin. Michael Theodoridis putting in a match of the day. He might take home that $500 cheque.
Well, so far we've seen Theodoridis up at their half-back line, the Cranbourne half-back line. He's pushed up there early twice. Now he's been lively down the forward line as well, and he's really letting Brandon White know, hey, this time I'm here.
It's quite weak defence from Beaconsfield as well. They're just allowing Theodoridis to run wild inside 450, which you just can't allow to do.
So up they go. I'll give that one to Meyer. Miss Slicky collected the football, was already tackled by Gearon, and the umpire decides to throw it up.
This really close-knit, scrappy game is really going to take its toll on the players. All this stop-starting. They're going to want to open this up as the game goes on.
Boland, nearly a punch as far as a kick. Coming up to mid it there, Damien Johnson. Strong play by Ryan Jones. Mitchum now gets tackled by Boland. The hand pass coming out from Gearon to Lee Holt. Kicks inside forward. 50 Theodoridis has the front position. Couldn't take the mark. The ball spills towards B. Hugo. Leaves the ball behind. The numbers now with Beaconsfield. Hand pass towards McGowan, who drops the ball under pressure and then gets a push in the back by Gearon. The umpire says play on. Bertoncello goes in. Gets the hand pass back towards McPherson. Under some pressure. Has to go with his first option. Bouncing football now for McDermott on the outer side. If he collects it, Beaconsfield are in. McDermott battery run down. Gets his kick away towards Taylor Joyce. Juggling attempt. No mark paid. No free kick. The ball spills to Fletcher. Fletcher from 30 metres out. Sets sail for goal to the wrong side of the post and through for one behind. Beaconsfield 1-3-9. Trailing Cranbourne 2-1-13 thanks to Dance Nightclub in Berwick. As Barker brings the ball in, the young girls just slipped over in front of us and everyone's having a laugh. You can hear it in the effects, Mike. It's all happening here at Edmund Flack. Even Bryce wants to get involved. It's the first time he's moved from the chair all day. Glenn Osborne, short pass towards Matt Thompson, who's taken the mark. Defensive side of centre wing. He's always good by foot. Picks out Blake Pearce. Oh, didn't read that one too well, Blakey. The juggling attempt there, close to the boundary line, was paid. And he'll kick it. Mislicky's on the mark. So Cranbourne's Blake Pearce. He goes long. Vale has two to beat Tom Jock. Read the play nicely, but good body work by Jaden G. Another blood rule. This time it's from Cranbourne, and looks like Matt Weller will come off the ground with some claret coming from the nose.
But just why there's a lull, we saw Jones go off for Cranbourne, so McPherson came off for Beaconsfield, replaced by Jock, and as soon as that happened, Vella came back on for Cranbourne. So there are your two matchups straight away.
Interesting to see too from Cranbourne. Mark Holt's playing more up towards the 50-metre arc inside 50, whereas Theodoridis is back towards the square a bit more, which was the opposite positions last week.
So Jock kicks it there towards Hughes. Good punch away by Russ. Glenn Osborne took the ball, but he was wrapped up in a strong tackle by Dodsworth. And we're going to see the ball thrown up.
That just could be to let everyone know the Mark Holt firing fit.
It's an interesting call there, Jared. We saw last week he pulled up a bit sore, so good to see he's having a bit of a run as well.
Meyer taps it down. Curtis Barker and Swager and Curtis Barker see that ball over the boundary line right in front of the 97.7 FM broadcast position, thanks to Dance Nightclub in Berwick. We have now gone 20 minutes. We're in the red time here of the first quarter. Cranbourne 2-1-13, leading Beaconsfield 1-3-9. The punch from Meyer. McGowan was held on to. No free kick paid. And Fletcher happy to see that ball over the boundary line.
Yeah, it's another lull in play, another boundary line, but they're just, again, it's just going tit for tat at the moment, isn't it, between 50-metre lines?
It is. Yeah, it's going to be a contest here this afternoon, that is for sure. Neither team willing to give an inch. Meyer taps the ball. Tapping it forward, though, for Cranbourne was Hugo, but Kerrigan was there. Gives it, don't argue, to Curtis Barker. Kicks it inside forward, 50, looking for Taylor Joyce. Takes the front position. Couldn't take the mark. Morris gets bumped there by Hughes, but Russ was in support. Just kicks it long into space. It's going to be a foot race. Vella has 3 to beat. Who wants the football now? Beaconsfield or Cranbourne? Johnston does well. Gets the hand pass there to Tom Jock. The inboard pass finds Mitchum of Beaconsfield, has taken the mark. So Mitchum can play on if he likes. No. The lead from Joyce is ignored. So he goes towards centre half forward with the best and fairest winner the last 2 years takes the mark, Scott Meyer. If he plays well, Beaconsfield win, you would think. Meyer, always a pinpoint pass, looking for Pollard. Good punch away by Brandon Osborne. Gearin was there to be Hugo. Now Fletcher over towards Gearin. He can run, Max Gearin. He's got Jock to beat. The sweeping hand pass to Thal. He goes inboard looking for Vella. Bouncing football now. Vella, he'll run to 55. Vella has a shot on goal. Doesn't get the best connection to it. The Beaconsfield defenders spoil each other. Lincoln's is there. Hand passes more and hope. Theodoritis, he breaks the tackle. No, too high. The fend off. And he's been penalised. Bertoncello will take the free kick for Beaconsfield. Jock in space. He needs to collect the football. About to be run down by Tim Smith. Oh, that's holding the footy. Took too long there, Tom Jock. Tim Smith wanted the contest. Tackled the big man and spilt the ball out, but it was penalised for holding the football. Play on through Curtis Barker. Another entry inside forward. 50. Holt uses his body against Battleglyn. Holt does a second effort. Gets the hand pass towards Thal. He slips over the crucial moment. Curtis Barker goes back by hand to be Hugo. They kick around the body. They need a mark. Where's Holt? He couldn't collect it. The numbers with Beaconsfield. A little tap out, and now they can clear it again. Bertoncello towards the outer side. Oh, the pass didn't give Judgeworth any chance. Bouncing football after Glenn Osborne overrun it. The numbers though with Cranbourne. Russ, now Glenn Osborne gets the football. The sweeping hand pass over the top looking for Fletcher, but it was cut off. There's a good play by Hughes. A long way from home. Saw Mitchum. Mitchum was going towards Taylor Joyce. Loose football. Morris is there. He needs to use Barker. Finds him by hand. Barker hears the voice. It was Russ. Always cool, calm, collected on the half-back line. Russ goes to Morris. Now Blake Pearce. He can use his pace to his advantage. Here's another afterburner. No, didn't quite get that far. It's only gone as far as the old campaigner, Lee Holt. The sweeping hand pass to Vella. Now bright orange boost. Ryan Jones gets it. Spearing pass in the pocket. Bouncing football. Theodoritis. Was that a push in the back? No. Going back there for the Beaconsfield side was young Brandon White. Good defensive play there by White. Gets it over the boundary line.
Yeah, there's a lot of play there for not much result, really, when you look at it, was it? Just scrappy all over the joint.
Well, they're inside forward 50 in attacking position now, Cranbourne. Swaja couldn't collect it. Damien Johnson did well. By hand towards Jaden G. The kick around the body. The one-on-one contest. Osborne brings the ball to ground, but it was Chris Fletcher doing the roving. He kicks it long. Joyce has 2 to beat. Russ backing back. Punches the ball away. Nick Barker's been fantastic. Goes back to Russ. He'll bring it out the broadcast side towards Lindsay, who takes the mark in front of Fletcher. So Lindsay from Cranbourne, the big ruckman, sends his cheerio to Morris over in Orlando. He kicks it towards centre wing with Vella. Takes the mark. 2-time goal of the day winner, Anthony Vella, during his final series. So that was a nice pass. Didn't blaze away. Just perfectly weighted kick towards Lee Holt, who's had plenty of it in this first quarter. Lee Holt can sense mark on the lead. He couldn't take the grab. Battleglyn does well, brings the ball to ground, then gets a hand pass to McPherson, who goes to Miss Licky. The 1-2's ignored. The captain of Beaconsfield goes long looking for Pollard, but reading the play nicely there was Fluffy. Fluffy Boland's taking the mark for Cranbourne. Short pass, just travelled the required 15 metres there, where Russ has taken the mark on the right half-back flank for Cranbourne. Russ decides just to hold play up and go back towards Weller, who's been called to play on. About to be tackled by Taylor Joyce. Tackle applied. The hand pass there was to Morris. Now Barker. Oh, he's under some pressure now. Gets a bump from Pollard. Was that high? No. Joyce goes back towards Pollard by hand. Oh, they left the ball behind Beaconsfield, going through Brandon Osborne. Now Hermans. Oh, he's blind turned himself into a tackle by McPherson. The tackle wasn't rewarded. The ball spills to Jaden G from Beaconsfield. Kicks the ball out to the half-back flank. We're going to see a foot race. Taylor Joyce and Russ. Russ was first one to the footy. He traps it, but Joyce kept going. Now collects the football. Was that a trip? Yes. Taylor Joyce will receive the free kick. Forward of centre wing. Beaconsfield attacking towards the township end, but it's all irrelevant. Now it's on. Here we go. This is what we've been waiting for. A bit of grand final action. The boys go at it there on centre wing.
And a quarter time sign.
Yeah, the quarter time
ring, wasn't it?
Quarter time has gone.
Hit the bell.
Cranbourne 2-1-13. Beaconsfield 1-3-9. 4 points the margin. That quarter going 25 minutes.
Yeah, it was a very interesting quarter, that one. It was a lot of feeling out, a lot of sussing here. Cranbourne were running a lot, then they weren't running a lot. Beaconsfield were running in numbers, then they stopped. They were backing each other up all the time, both sides, and they stopped. We went into his address. He spent a lot of time with Theodoridis having a chat to him. I saw that, so it'd be nice to see what he actually said to him and whether it's encouraged him, because I think Theodoridis is a confidence player. He's got 2 goals already, so his confidence is going to be up and he's going to want him to keep building on it. As you can see, he's going up to the centre half forward line of Cranbourne now, where Mark holds deep in the goal square.
Just before the quarter time address too from Scott Sutherland, Max Gear and Curtis Barker, very loud voices towards his players about the scrap just on quarter time as well. So good signs from the captains.
So tapped down by Boland, finds Fletcher, gets the clearance and kicks the ball inside forward 50. It's bouncing away. Blatt again. Gives a don't argue there to Theodoridis. So his hand pass was left behind. There, disappointing play by White going in. Ryan Jones applies a tackle. Should have been a free kick, but what a power play there by Theodoridis. Wraps up McPherson, drags him over the boundary line. They're ferocious in their endeavour, the Cranbourne side here this afternoon. The young Beaconsfield side are going to have to stand up against this enforced pressure by the final specialist in Cranbourne. Tapped down by Thal to be Hugo. The sweeping hand pass was looking for Fletcher. Only goes as far as Scott Meyer of Beaconsfield. He hand passes the ball 30 metres. Good use of the body by Pollard. Oswaja into the contest. He couldn't get away from Boland. Boland goes in a second time. Oswaja's up for the contest. Wraps the big man and brings him down. Like a South African hunter just found his prey. Brings him to the ground. Boland, the big giraffe from Cranbourne. He's a leaping gazelle. The ball's going to be thrown up. Meyer takes the best position, taps it down. Curtis Barker throws it to Lee Holt. The umpire was blindsided. Strong tackle by Swaja. And we're going to see the ball thrown up.
Having a look up forward too for Cranbourne. Glynn from Beaconsfield's taken on the big man Mark Holt, who's drifted back to the goal square early in the second quarter.
Interesting to note, Beaconsfield, the 2 times they've played Cranbourne this year, they've started the game well. They haven't trailed at quarter time. Today in the grand final they do. There's a free kick in the clearance to Fletcher, who's tackled too high. Plays on. Helicopter pass inside forward 50. Bouncing football. Coming up to a minute there was Murphy. Was he tackled high? No. Daniel Johnston reads the play well. The 1-2 to Meyer was good. He clears defensive 50. Oh, the in-range target was McDermott. Only got as far as Curtis Barker, who intercepts. Back inside forward 50. Go Cranbourne. They need a mark. They compete. Flying high there was Meyer. He hits the ground hard. Murphy jumps on top and the ball's going to be thrown in. There's a Beaconsfield player down at the back of the pack. Is it Batterglin? Yes, it is. Scott Meyer collected him and Meyer will come off. There's going to be a blood rule. Batterglin in the hands of trainers. Scott Meyer looks like he's injured his leg. No, he's okay. The big man from Beaconsfield. There's a bit of a lull in play. Batterglin's getting attended to right where the ball's going to be thrown up. So you've got to take him out of the play or he's going to stand up. Batterglin is starting to stand up. He waves the trainers away. 3 minutes into the second quarter. 4 points of margin in favour of Cranbourne. Holt doing the ruck work. Fletcher's there. He's wrapped up in a strong tackle by Damien Johnston. He was going nowhere. And the ball's going to be thrown up once again.
Yeah, I think the wind's got a bit to do with this as well. With the wind? With the ball being blown around a bit. We saw a couple of kicks that just got caught up in the wind too.
Mislicky by hand to McPherson. That was a nice little bounce pass for G, who couldn't collect it. Boland comes up to meet the play. Breaks a tackle. Another entry inside forward. 50 towards Holt. Bouncing ball off his chest. The big man's brought it in. Mark Holt had the front position against Battaglan. Read the play beautifully there, Mark Holt. He just dragged it in, and he'll be lining up from 20 metres out directly in front to kick Cranbourne's third goal.
Well, Kane, wouldn't you say we've seen a different fluff here today than the first final we saw?
Yeah, the big sock.
Yeah, he's everywhere today, right in the play. Now, I think he's got the wood over Mire at the moment.
He can play Michael Boland when he brings it. He's one of the best in the competition. Mark Holt for goal number 102 for the season. That's Cranbourne's third goal, the captain's first. They go to 3-1-19, 10 points in front of Beaconsfield, 1-3-9. 5 minutes gone in the second quarter, thanks to Dance Nightclub in Berwick.
Just saw Mark Holt, he's already got the limp going now, so maybe that's he's trying to lull him into a false sense of security, boys. I'm a bit hurt, but now I'm going to start kicking goals.
Well, we saw him last week play on a bit of a sore leg, especially in the second half, and he kicked 8 goals for the game, so I wouldn't count him out of the contest just because he's
not counting
only
him out.
got 1.5 legs, Jared, so it'll be interesting to see how they play on Mark Holt now, knowing that he's feeling a bit tight in that calf.
Well, it's not counting him out. He seems to get better as he starts to limp.
3 unanswered goals to Cranbourne. The biggest margin of the grand final, 10 points. Meyer taps it down. Kerrigan comes through, leaves the ball behind for Swaja. Oh, that's a messy kick inside forward 50 at the shoelaces of McDermott. Oh, breaking through nicely was Dodsworth. He broke 2 tackles. Dodsworth could finish it off, but no.
Jeez.
Oh, he did all the hard work breaking through the pack there, but his kick just went the wrong side of the post. Beaconsfield 1-4-10, trailing Cranbourne 3-1-19.
Disappointing kick there. He really should have slotted that one straight through. As you said, Kane did all the hard work, busted the pack, and really should have got Beaconsfield their second goal of the game.
Barker goes short in the pocket and finds Brandon Osborne. One of the better players for Cranbourne last week, I thought. Brandon Osborne went one-on-one with Piscaya, goes towards Jones. Oh, he had some space in front of McPherson. He runs away, kicks the ball long, looking for foul. G gets there nicely, punches the ball away. G's second effort, gets Boland out of the contest. Damien Johnston's wrapped up in a strong tackle there by foul, and the ball's going to be thrown up.
I just wonder whether Boland's thought, well, I'm going to show this medalist how good he really is and how good I really am too.
Well, he had to come to play against a player like Meyer. Oh, Boland gets one in the head, no free kick. The kick from Fletcher was smothered. Meyer tries to tap it out. I think he got a flick in the eye, Boland, actually. Damien Johnston stands up in the tackle, gives it don't argue while nearly getting dragged to ground. Curtis Barker unlucky not to be rewarded for holding the football, and we're going to see the ball thrown up. So 3 passages of play, 3 balls thrown up. Doing the ruck there was Lindsay, taps it down to Ryan Jones, the hurried kick forward, only as far as Burton Cello for Beaconsfield, hand pass towards Lincolns, couldn't collect it his first attempt, second attempt, leaves the ball behind, good pressure by Murphy, bumped him off the play, fails hand pass, misses Theodoritis, but didn't miss Swaja of Beaconsfield, he kicks the ball long, Fletcher doing the hard stuff at the front there, Pollard couldn't mark, Jock goes back behind to Swaja, the kick around the body, no one's there for Beaconsfield, and taking a nice relieving mark was Hermans, who plays on, finds Curtis Barker. He's been in scintillating form the last 2 weeks, Curtis. He kicks it inside forward, 50. Looking for Theodoritis. Oh, they collide. No mark was taken. Mark Holt's there. Tries to get the ball out. It's Murphy. The kick around the body by Jared Murphy from Cranbourne across the face and through for one behind.
Mark Holt's second efforts have to be congratulated. He's just always there. He's up for the mark and the ball hits the ground. He's on the ground fighting for it and scrapping.
Cranbourne 3-2-20. Beaconsfield 1-4-10 to kick in. Swaja has 2 to beat. Curtis Barker fell over in the marking contest, but Hugo, the former Beaky player, goes through and gets the ball over the boundary line.
This scrappy play is really going to hurt Beaconsfield. They like the clean run, grab it, take it, go, hit your forwards and kick goals. So they really need to step it up in this second quarter to come back into it.
Meyer outreaches Saal. The ball's tapped down or going through there. Hermans was attacked high. Jones got a trip. The umpire was blindsided, and getting a push over the boundary line there was Jesse Lincolns. Gee, if you're running at full tilt and your legs come out from under you, there's only one reason that happens, and that was a trip.
Yep.
I know you're blindsided, but there's 3 umpires on the ground. This is a grand final. That was a clear free kick missed by the umpire. Look at Gearon. He's already got some favouring there on his hamstring. Tapped down. Foul. Going through there was Hollick. Coughs the ball up. Spun in the tackle there was Hermans. Only goes as far as Lee Holt. I wouldn't want to tackle Lee Holt.
It was a young fella, McPherson.
It was.
Just said, come to me, big fella.
Yeah.
And, wrapped him up beautifully.
Well, imagine playing school footy against Lee Holt and Mark Holt. You wouldn't have had much chance unless you're on their side. Tap down by Meyer. Good tackle by Jones. The ball spills out. Fletcher tries to kick the ball to congestion. Couldn't do so. Barker gets collected high. No free kick. Sliding in there. Swadra applies the tackle. Then gets the football out. Diving on top of it, Damien Johnson. Jared Murphy's there from Cranbourne. There's about 5 different tackles happening at once there in that contest, and the ball's going to be thrown up.
Just all very physical, isn't it? Very physical game completely, and going hard at it.
Jumping early though was Thal. He couldn't get his hand to the play. Coming up for Beaconsfield there, I couldn't quite see it because Murphy applied a tackle straight away. It was on Jaden G. The young Beaky Eagle Brigade on show here in the grand final. Tap down by Hugo doing the roving. As soon as he got the football, he was tackled there by Hollick. The ball comes out in Beaconsfield favour through Lincoln's. The up and under kick looking for Jock. Has the front position. Couldn't mark. Was he held on to? The umpire says no. Morris gets the hand pass to Barker. Back to Matty Russ. Kick forward looking for Murphy. Taking the front position. Courageous effort by Johnson. Couldn't claim the mark. Second effort was good. Butted up. Got the hand pass towards Brandon White. He was wrapped up and brought to ground, and a strong tackle there by Curtis Barker. Just their physicality at the moment, Cranbourne. We know they're playing against a young side. They're really flexing their muscle at the moment. Meyer taps the ball down. Be Hugo wrapped up. Ineffective disposal. Going up there, Holly couldn't collect it. Hermans was held on to for a long time. No free kick. Jaden G heard the voice. It was Nick McPherson who receives the hand pass. Backtracks. Goes to Hughes. He goes with an inside-out torpedo off the side of the boot. Probably not as planned. And taking a mark there on centre wing was Morris. He's got Tharwell by himself at centre half forward. Tharwell was infringed. No free kick against Lincoln's. Loose football for Damien Johnson. He's wrapped up in a tackle, has some support. G had it for a while, goes back by hand now through Brandon White, dancing his way through Lincoln's under some pressure, but finds Mitchum by hand, kicks the ball along to a one-on-one contest. Osborne, wrong side of the football, taking the mark on the outer side though was Fletcher, 33 years of age. The evergreen Chris Fletcher kicks the ball inside, forward 50, won't quite get the distance, and reading the play there was Brandon Osborne. Was that a lack of effort by Pollard? I wouldn't like to say so, but that mark was pretty easy by Brandon Osborne. Goes back to Blake Pearce, the Weller, the 1-2 with Pearce, showing some dash off the half-back line, finds Nick Barker by hand from Cranbourne. In two minds, tries to get around Jock, has plenty of players in support. What a run by Blake Pearce, collects the football and kicks it long. Caught at the back there was Theodoritis, and sliding in, taking a good relieving mark on the half-back flank for Beaconsfield was Brandon White. He kicks it out towards the Cranbourne contingent there. It's that McPherson on the outer side. You can hear the chants coming from Cranbourne supporters as he goes long. Big pack of players. Joyce flew early. Weller couldn't complete the mark for Cranbourne. Off hands. Nick Barker doing the roving. Oh, that's a nice pass. Didn't blaze away. Found his brother Curtis. Spins around. Plays on. Entry inside forward 50. Trying to cut it off there was White. He couldn't do so. Fletcher was he collected high. The umpire was blindsided once again. And he was wrapped up. And the ball's going to be thrown up.
One stat that would be interesting to see in this game is disposal efficiency. It's very scrappy. No one can make a clean disposal at the moment, and it's really hard to get a run on.
So Thal clearly wins the tap down, but there's 6 or 7 players around the football. I don't know if disposal efficiency is the number one stat in the case you get in your football league.
Be interesting to see though, Kane.
Well, yeah, if you were calling for Channel 7. Tap down, wrapped up in a tackle there was gear on, and the ball's been bolted in.
Maybe it's a sign of things to come, Kane.
Maybe it is.
We'll get bigger and bigger, aren't we? We're just getting bigger.
Yeah, we're calling from Orlando today. The ball was tapped down. Morris Lindsay, one of our big supporters on KC Radio. And back with the play. Once again, just the numbers around the football, boys.
Yep, that's what it is.
It's tapped down, like Thal gets it down again. Who's brave enough to stand up? It's Theodoritis. 3 Beaconsfield players tackle him. Swaja, Jaden G, they all bring him to ground. One thing you have to say, in the last 5 minutes, the Beaconsfield defence are really closing in on Cranbourne at the moment. Foul there against Hughes, tapped down only as far as Lincoln's, who can kick the ball out, broadcast side of the ground, hoping for Daniel Johnson, receives a bad bounce, while Tom Jock just glides in, collects the football, then kicks it along the boundary line towards McPherson, dropped the mark, now collects it, under some pressure from Vella, kicks the ball forward, Osborne and Fletcher, both players nearly slip over, Glenn Osborne's gone with some backward heel kick towards Fletcher's head, and both players just jump on top of the football.
Yeah, that was very interesting there. They made sure he had all of his body in touch with the ball so Fletcher couldn't get a clean run at it, and that was really good. And a bit of argy-bargy again.
So Lindsay doing the ruck there by himself. Hermans was worried out of it. The ball comes out towards Mitchum. The Beaconsfield player is a little bit fumbly at the moment. John Jones goes in. Gearin, in tight and pressure there. The quick hand pass towards Lindsay. He couldn't keep the ball in play. The ball's going to be thrown out.
Yeah, I think just a lot of fumbling's the pressure. Pressure.
It is the pressure.
Yep.
You don't want to make a mistake on grand final day. Lindsay against Hughes now in the ruck for Beaconsfield. Brandon Osborne couldn't collect the football, just dives on top of the pack. Miss Lecky's in there all. A Cranbourne player, Gearon, received a high shot. Going in was Jones. I think it was McGowan who had the late shot there. McGowan doing the ruck work, taps it down. Brandon Osborne pushed as he's punched it. Was ineffective. McGowan had nowhere to go. He was wrapped up in a strong... a little bit of a how you do from McGowan.
Just a congratulations.
Bit of a pinch. Was nothing more than that. I don't think Gearan even felt it.
No.
Both teams are willing. They don't want to give an inch. Lindsay against Hughes. Tap down by Lindsay. Finds Curtis Barker. Under some pressure from Jock. Has to go long. G has a front position there against Thale. Couldn't mark. Tim Smith, who was lightning in that preliminary final, gets a hand pass towards Hermans. Misses valid by hand. 3 Beaconsfield players run up to meet it. Mitchum gives the ball to Mislicki. He tries to break the tackle. Gets a hand pass towards Jock. Under some pressure. Hand pass it back. Ricochet towards Mislicki. Nick Barker goes in. Jumps on top of the football for Cranbourne. And the umpire decides he'll throw it up.
I think some of these young Beaconsfield players, they're just the quickness of this game is catching them unawares.
They need to show some anticipation.
Yep.
Tap down by Boland to Pearce. He breaks the line and goes bang with a 60-metre pass. They need Theodoridis to mark. The ball travels over the top. White, Theodoridis, the Golden Greek against White. The Golden Greek playing for a free kick. Gives it, don't argue. Hand passes it to War himself. Good work by Brandon White. Did not give a centimetre in that contest. Kept Theodoridis out. Bertoncello goes through to add some support. They get the ball over the boundary line.
That was well done by Theodoridis there. Had 2 to beat and really made him work hard and eventually got it over the boundary line, and Cranbourne can set up for a big goal here.
So the ball's thrown in. Thale taps it down, then does his own roving. Tries to get the hand pass out towards Fletcher, but it was cut off. Breaking through nicely there for Beaconsfield was G. Decides to go long to a 2-on-1 contest. McGowan has 2 to beat. Brings the ball down. And then, I don't know what that was. Was it a push? He just seemed to just fall over the boundary line there.
He was just happy to get his body in between the ball and the Cranbourne player.
The Cranbourne players are getting in Beaconsfield's head at the moment. McGowan doesn't know what to do. The ball's thrown in. Boland taps the ball down. Dodsworth drops the ball once again, allows Morris to kick it forward, but reading the play nicely was Hughes. Gets the hand pass there towards Lincolns. He takes the bounce, penetrating run, the kick looking for Joyce. He's taken the mark. He plays on away from Weller, runs to 40 out, under some pressure. Taylor Joyce! That's a much needed goal for Beaconsfield. We've waited 10 minutes to play. He broke the shackles and kicked his first. Joyce takes Beaconsfield the 2-4-16, trailing Cranbourne 3-2-20. 15 minutes gone of the second quarter, thanks to Dance Nightclub in Berwick.
Great goal there by Joyce, really good strong mark, and then both Cranbourne players fell to ground. Saw his opportunity, took it on, shot on goal from 45 out, bounced through into an open goal. Beaconsfield are suddenly back in it. The scoreboard doesn't reflect it, but you'd think whoever goes into half-time with a 3 or 4 goal lead is really going to have the confidence to win this game.
Nearly a whole quarter of play between goals for Beaconsfield. It was a telling goal. And Mislicki gets the charge going again. Kicks the ball forward. Bouncing football. Hewson Morris, who just sockers the ball forward. Good play by Glenn Osborne. Just bumped him out of the contest. Morris now against McDermott. Glenn Osborne goes back into the play. It's a loose footy close to the boundary line there. Look at the big crowd at the Berwick tent.
What was good about that Joyce goal too, he took the mark and he rode the bump from the Cranbourne player and then faced goals, sized up the options, and I can play on here.
So throw in, tap back down towards the boundary line. Johnson was there, gets a hand pass to McDermott. He wasn't even given a second to think, and he was pushed over the boundary line.
Yeah, it's a little bit of push and shove going on again. It's just been niggling all day. The players have been niggling all day.
So throw in, Boland taps it towards the back. Curtis Barker goes in, couldn't collect it. Daniel Johnson back by hand and Mislicki. The kick around the body by Daniel Mislicki. If you don't mind, talk about a captain's goal in a grand final. From the pocket, Daniel Mislicki puts Beaconsfield back in front. 3-4-22, leading Cranbourne 3-2-20. 16 minutes gone thanks to Dance Nightclub in Berwick.
You said it, Kane. A great captain's goal. Really stood up there, took the game on, and a great result from the Beaconsfield skipper. Beaconsfield back in front now by 2 points, and Cranbourne are going to have to turn it up again.
Yeah, it was a goal from nothing, really, wasn't it? A couple of ball-ins, and then suddenly he's found the pill, broken out, and they had a snapshot, sized it up, had a snap, and straight through the middle. Taylor Joyce knew that was a goal as soon as it left his boot.
There's still some time to send us a text, 0429 466 373. But Hugo goes back by hand towards Barker, who slips it over to Boland, who goes long. They need Theodoridis to take the mark at full stretch, couldn't do so. Loose football at the back. Coming up to meet it there was G. Rides the tackle. How's the umpire going to see it? And too high. The umpire was 65 metres out away from that contest. But anyway, G will take the free kick inside defensive 50 for Beaconsfield. The short pass. Waja has to go. He's got Lee Holt to beat. Both players couldn't take the mark, but at the foot of the ball was Damien Johnston. Plays on, kicks it long, looking for Hughes. Jumps high, couldn't complete the mark. His second effort's been good. His third effort was good. Tapped it out, looking for Jock. But it's Behigo, the former Beaky star. Gets the hand pass to Russ. Going through the ball. He gives a don't argue. The ball spills free. Jock couldn't beat the tackle of Vella, and he's been wrapped up.
And that little bit of play there in 10 metres summed up the pressure of this whole game.
Jock's getting frustrated with the shadow of Anthony Vella. Vella's getting right under his skin. Meyer taps the ball down to Jock. Vella was there once again. Vella holding on. The free kicked away to Jock. Advantage paid through Swaja. Long kick inside forward. 50. Joyce flies. Couldn't take the mark. Punch away by Brandon Osborne. McGowan dives over the football. Oh, that should have been kicking in danger. No free kick to Brandon Osborne. That was courageous. Put your head over the football. Pack forms on the paint at 50. Beaconsfield kicking towards the high school end. There's a huge crowd in attendance for this grand final with no Narry Warren. Beaky, Cranbourne, 2 points the margin, 20 minutes gone here of the second quarter. Going through Swaja, couldn't get an effective disposal away. Big pack of players around this football once again. The kick coming out hasn't travelled the required distance. Weller tries to claim the mark. He's been called to play on. Kicks it long towards the outer side, and a long lead was Thal. He should beat G. Oh, the closing speed of G was fantastic. The second effort was even better. Kicks the ball forward to the half-forward line. The numbers with Beaconsfield. Gearan has to be strong. He did well through Fletcher. Now Glenn Osborne usually has pace to burn. Decides to go long. Theodoritis just watching the fall of the play. Bouncing football. White does well. Taps it to his own advantage and runs away from the Golden Greek. White, tremendous play towards McPherson, who marks it just inside the paint of the play. Goes inboard towards Fletcher. Battery run down. Fletcher gets his kick away and plays for the free kick. The umpire has fallen for it, and he's giving it to Lee Holt. I don't know what that was. A bit of a hulking sort of symbol.
Bit of a gorilla type thing.
I wasn't going there.
It wasn't you? Oh, well.
People will download. That was Jared Healy calling Lee Holt a gorilla. Meyer tries to break the tackle of Vella. Morrish gets a hand pass towards Fletcher. Oh, Beaconsfield just closed him down. And the umpires paid that as too high. I think it may have been against Dodsworth. The second attempt just collecting Matt Fletcher's head. And he'll take the free kick in the left-hand back pocket for Cranbourne. The momentum is definitely swinging in favour of Beaconsfield. They lead by 2 points. 21 minutes gone to the second quarter. The short pass by Fletcher finds Gearon. Look at Cranbourne. They're just holding the play up again, Jared. When they're under some pressure, they're just going to hold on to this football. They go back to centre half back where Russ takes the mark. The next option here is going to be Vella. He'll get it and run. He'll go long looking for Jones. He has McPherson. The beat gives the front position towards McPherson. Now it's a loose football. Who's got the pace? Jones. The afterburners are on. He goes long looking for Mark Holt. Mark Holt taking the mark.
That's great.
Oh, he just read that play like a circling great white. He could just see his prey. He just wanted that football. What a great mark by Holt. Well, let's get tripped up. What a great mark by Mark Holt. But the big man, who's been having acupuncture and needles in his back for the last 3 weeks, talk about an inspirational footballer, the 2002 TAC Cup Full Forward of the Year. This guy can play 183 games, 810 goals. You want a full forward to believe in? It's Mark Holt from Cranbourne. Can he get the lead back on the shadows at half-time? Yes, he can. Mark Holt kicks his second. Cranbourne go back to a lead, 4-2-26 against Beaconsfield, 3-4-22. 23 points gone thanks to Dance Nightclub at Berwick.
Well done to Ryan Jones then too. Really took the game on and really used his leg pace. He knew he could outrun his tagger there in McPherson chasing him down and really got the kick away and a strong mark by Mark Holt. We saw it last week. We know he can do it. And as the crowd are starting to chant a bit early out here at Edwin Flack. So really interesting perspective from the crowd and a great game. We asked for a great contest. We've certainly got one.
4 points the margin. Nearly 25 minutes gone here of the second quarter. Tap down. Meyer gets the hand pass back from Mitchum and has to do it himself. He goes long inside forward, 50. Oh, Matt Russ just floats in front of the pack and takes a good mark. It's a hand pass to Glenn Osborne. Sweeps it over to Pearce. In some space, he runs his full distance and goes long to Thal. Oh, G closing speed once again. Just punches the ball away. Second effort by G. Put the pressure on Pearce. Oh, Thal goes high there against Lincolns. And Lincolns will take the free kick. Troy Thal. I've never seen a man get more knocked out in the football field than Troy Thal. The kick, though, by Lincoln's. Pollard just didn't read it correctly. Went to one hand, couldn't take the mark. Osborne gives the don't argue towards Miss Licky, then sweeps a hand pass out to Gearin. Has to break the tackle of Meyer, couldn't do so. Went by hand to Curtis Barker. Barker inside forward, 50. Battleland and Holt do battle. The ball spills to Theodoridis. One way, then the other. Oh no, he sold himself into some trouble there, the Golden Greek. His legs wouldn't go which way he wanted, and he fell over at the crucial moment, and White took the free kick. Goes right across the ground where he finds Battleland running away from Holt. And leading up the field there was Daniel Johnston. He decides to play on the outer side, sees Dodsworth all by himself, has to stand and take the mark, couldn't do so. Coming through there, Vella, who's been everywhere with jockeys, back by hand towards Russ. While standing and waiting there was Lee Holt, allowed the bull to take the mark. He plays on. Kerrigan from 60 metres out, goes long. Joyce is circling. Joyce couldn't mark. The ball's been punched away. Fletcher is there, and also Damien Johnson. Johnson collects the football from Fletcher. The shot on goal goes right across the face. Hasn't even gone out. Coming up to meet it, Glenn Osborne. In some time, in some space. Cool, calm, collected. Finds someone at centre half back. It's Pearce. Blake Pearce is taking a mark. Nearly 25 minutes gone here. It's nearly half time. Still inside defensive 50. He kicks it back towards the pocket where Morris takes the mark. This is definitely a set play by Cranbourne. Just hold on to it. Keep the ball away from your opposition. As Morris kicks it towards Nick Barker. Nearly a hospital pass there. As Dodsworth just crashes into Barker. But Barker, another experienced campaigner for Cranbourne, was good enough to take the mark. Gets it towards centre wing with Thal was front and square doing the roving. Gets the hand pass to Curtis Barker. Tries to spin it around. Oh, he was tackled. Lucky to get a kick to the play. Goes towards centre wing. Thal gets bumped heavily on that contest and the ball goes out of bounds.
Yeah, it's like Cranbourne are happy to chip it inside their defensive 50 line until they get to that arc, and then they'll go long after that.
So throw in. They're all doing battle there. Oh, Maslicki collects the football and he gets brought to ground. Breaking through. Mitchum gets a hand pass to Swaja. Inside forward 50. Matt Russ again. Does anyone read the play better? I don't think so. Matt Russ just floats in front of the pack and takes a great mark. He really added something to Cranbourne since returning after his suspension at the start of the final series. Well, Curtis Barker and Matt Russ with the difference for Cranbourne here. They both didn't play in their loss in the qualifying final. So Russ has it again, goes to Weller. He has to kick long now to a 2-on-1 contest. Vella has to go. Oh, Burton Challow keeps his eye on the football. Couldn't collect it. The ball bounces towards Jock. Now it's Mitchum. Too far out to score. So he goes looking for McDermott on the lead in the pocket and he's taken the mark. Troy McDermott will light up for a shot on goal now on a 15-degree angle, 20 metres out. The distance won't test him, but the accuracy might, boys.
Ryan Jones was on a great lead coming straight off the bench there and really missed an opportunity for Cranbourne and hit the rebound, and he wasn't very happy with that, but
there's
on the
siren
of half time.
So in comes McDermott. No, he's going to go back over his mark now. So this is a huge kick. Don't underestimate this. It's half time. Cranbourne lead by 4 points. Can McDermott take the lead back for Beaconsfield? In he comes. It's usually a trusty shot on goal. He's gone right across the face from only 20 metres out. Hopefully that's not a sign for things to come. A chance for Beaconsfield to go in front at half-time was missed. So half-time here in the 2014 Grand Final, thanks to Dance Nightclub in Berwick and Insurance Advisor Net South East. It's Cranbourne leading 4-2-26 to Beaconsfield 3-4-22. What a first half of action, boys.
Yeah, I think
the replay. That's Red Onion, one of the big supporters here of the Mornington Peninsula Football League. You're spot on, Trent. I couldn't agree with you more. I just noticed that Cranbourne only had 3 players go to the bench. I'm not too sure who the other player from Cranbourne who's injured. We'll have to watch that with some interest. Jared, how are you feeling?
Not too bad. Just looking forward to a big third quarter now. This is going to be at the Premiership quarter right now.
What do you expect as Meyer taps the ball down? I'll get to that question in just a second. Sorry, G. As the plays resumed, but Hugo couldn't collect it. Curtis Barker slips over. Now go with it. G, your thoughts on the second half?
Yeah, I still think Beaconsfield, if they can get open and start running, they'll run over the top of Cranbourne.
And your thoughts, Trent?
Oh, I've just said them, Kane. It's going to have to open up a lot more. They're going to have to create a lot more running carry. and kick really nice and cleanly to be able to put it on the scoreboard.
So Kerrigan does the hard work, kicks the ball forward, bouncing football, Pollard and Osborne. Pollard taps it, but Nick Barker was there. I was hoping to get a tip from you for the second half. Are you staying with your original tip?
Yeah, I'm still going to go with Cranbourne. I think their momentum coming into this game and their hunger and fight for it, as we spoke before the game after last year's loss, is really going to work in their favour.
We weren't expecting such a low score in that first half, that's for sure. Only 7 goals between both teams. It's 4 points to margin in favour of Cranbourne. The ball's inside forward 50 for Beaconsfield. They're attacking towards the Cardi end here at Edwin Flack Reserve. The ball goes back into play. Jones couldn't collect it. The Beaconsfield player there, McPherson, was wrapped up in a strong tackle. Anthony Vella still the shadow there for Jock. Pollard now being matched by Brandon Osborne. Boland in the ruck, taps the ball down. Look at the pack of players around this football. That ball's not going anywhere. And it's going to be thrown up once again.
Anthony Vella doing a really good job on Tom Jock, really letting him know that he's going to be with him every step of the way throughout this game, and a really good matchup and very clever coaching too.
Well, uses his body well. Jock goes through, gets a hand pass towards Pollard, but cutting off there was Brandon Osborne from Cranbourne. Goes backwards by hand to Fletcher. He kicks it to a one-on-one contest. Did Lincoln's give away the free kick? The umpire says no. There's some space for Ryan Jones. He just sockets the ball forward, hoping for Thal. The big man bends over. Taps it through the opposition's legs to Jones. He couldn't get the football under some pressure by McPherson. The umpire's letting it go. McPherson goes in again. Gets a hand pass there towards Lincoln, who goes long, but Boland was there for Cranbourne. He's wrapped up in a strong tackle, and the ball's going to be thrown up on centre wing.
Cran not very happy with that decision. From here, using the binoculars, Kane, it looked like a bit of a one-arm tackle, so really should have been pinned for holding the ball.
I don't know why, but there's 3 players sitting on the wrong side of the fence on that outer side. You're not allowed to be there. The ball's been kicked forward out of the clearance. Bouncing football now. White does well. Theodoridis needs a big second half. He goes in, tries to get the ball out. He's wrapped up in a strong tackle there by Daniel Johnson. The ball slips out, but Hugo's in there for Cranbourne. And the ball's going to be thrown up.
Yeah, you're right about Theo. He needs to start moving around like he did in the first quarter. White's got him pinned for height and everything. He's right with him, so...
Well, Jock in the ruck just uses his vertical leap to his advantage, but only went as far as Ryan Jones. The hurried kick forward. Battleland's thrown, hold out of the contest. But going through there for Cranbourne, the kick around the footy. Bouncing nearly all the way through there by Jared Murphy. But it's gone through for a point. So the first score of the second half is 1 behind the way of Cranbourne. They go to 4-3-27 in front of Beaconsfield 3-4-22. Slicky goes by hand there towards Daniel Johnson, who dropped the football at the crucial moment, allowed Cranbourne to get the ball forward to gear on. Maxi, 55, would test him. You can see the tape on his injured leg from last week. Gearin goes with a spearing pass towards Jones. Drops the mark he probably should have taken. Bouncing out the tackle there was Dodsworth. He drops the football. No free kick paid. Beaconsfield just hacked the ball forward there through Lincoln's. But reading the play nicely once again was Matthew Russ. He could be one of the players of the day this afternoon, you would think. Russ drops his eyes and finds a player on the outer side and be Hugo.
Strong mark too by Hugo.
Yeah, it's too far out to score, so he just goes long, gets a little bit under it, makes it hard for the forwards, and Tom Jock, well, he's a Spring Hill Jack, just flies high and takes a good mark there for Beaconsfield.
Yeah, they need him to get more into the play, and he certainly is this quarter.
So the kick there towards Swaja, who marks it in front of Murphy of Cranbourne. Swaja kicks it long. Nick Barker. Oh, he just had a fresh airy there, Nick Barker, as Pollard and Brandon Osborne just crash in together and the ball goes out of bounds.
Yeah, it's Beaconsfield's younger players. They need to get moving, get running. That's what they need. They can run and carry on them, but McPherson can't break away from Ryan Jones.
I've been happy with some of Cranbourne's matchups. They've been very well coached so far this afternoon by Scott Sutherland. Curtis Barker tries to break the tackle, couldn't do so, and it's been turned over through Jock. Second bounce. Can he make it a third bounce? He runs away from Fletcher. Jock should have done better there. Makes it hard for the forward as Mitchum couldn't collect it. Dodsworth in support. Gets the hand pass out towards Miss Slicky. We can use Kerrigan. The ball gets it. Runs away from Osborne. Kerrigan from 45 metres out. Sets sail for goal to the wrong side of the post. And through for 1 behind. So both teams start with a behind to start this second half. They go to 3-5-23, 4 points behind Cranbourne, 4-3-27 on KC Radio 97.7 FM with our kind sponsors Dance Nightclub Berwick.
Disappointing kick there, but the game started to open up even more, as we said in the half-time break. The run and carry starting to come into it a bit more, which is good to see. You like watching open played footy.
So Nick Barker just kicks it to himself to get that extra distance. Good lead there by Hugo. Takes the mark. Gets the ball moving quickly towards Bella. The ball bounces off his chest. Swaja goes in. Look at the attack by Swaja. Fantastic play there by the Beaconsfield rugged midfielder. Gearin probably should have done a little bit better to use his body against Swaja.
Swaja's running and taking them both in his arms, so he made sure they weren't going anywhere.
Yeah, a real leader at the Beaconsfield Football Club is Damien Swaja. Unheralded most of the time, Meyer. Double tap towards himself. Fletcher gets it. On top of him, Miss Licky. On top of Miss Licky, Lee Holt.
It'd be nice to actually go out there. That last kick for Kerrigan, that shot on goal, he got under it and it seemed like it got caught up in the breeze.
So Meyer double taps it there towards Daniel Johnson. See Swaja in the corner of his eye. Breaks a tackle of Glenn Osborne. Swaja from 50 metres out. Swaja goes all the way. Gone through for a goal from 50 metres out. Damien Swaja.
You just mentioned the breeze there, Jared, and it did exactly what Swaja wanted to do. The low kick really paid off in the end, really took the game on, and a great kick on goal, great use of the breeze, and all of a sudden Beaconsfield are back in front.
Yeah, it looked like Taylor Joyce was just about to try and mark that one, and he's decided to let that go. So, and it just bounced so nicely for a goal. So, Beaky back in front, and why it's a low-scoring game. A lot of the shots on goal, I don't think any of them have been rushed yet, so they've all been legitimate shots. So that goes well to it when it starts really opening up. Good
use of the body by Taylor Joyce to get that goal through for Beaconsfield. Boland taps it down with Slicky, ricochets there towards Curtis Barker. He kicks the ball long inside forward 50, but Burton Challow takes the mark. He brings it out broadcast side of the ground where Jaden G takes the mark for Beaconsfield in front of Theodoritis. He'll be called to play on now. Jaden G gets around Theodoritis too easily. He kicks the ball long towards the contest. Pollard gets bumped out of it, and Dodsworth does well to use his body to take the mark on his chest. Plays on quickly, goes long towards Fletcher. Couldn't quite get there. Russ gets his hand affects the play. Now he goes in a second time. Hand pass towards Vella. Goes inside now towards Matt Weller. He's got 4 Beaconsfield to beat. Beautiful blind turn. Sets up for Hugo. He dances his way back through traffic. Glenn Osborne sweeping hand pass to Ryan Jones. Back through traffic to Brandon Osborne. This is good team play. Now Nick Barker finds Brad Hermans, who can run away from Jock. Kicks the ball inside forward. 50 can make it hard for Holt. Was he held onto? No free kick paid. Tries to duck under Bataclan. Leaves the ball behind. Daniel Johnson goes in. Applies the pressure to bring him to ground. And the ball's going to be thrown up.
Unlucky not to get the free kick there, Mark Holt. Looked like from our position he was clearly being held onto from the back of his jumper, but really congested play now towards Cranbourne's forward 50. Beaconsfield's defence really holding up in this third quarter.
So the ball's thrown up. Foul. Uncontested. Punches the ball long. Bataclan gets wrapped up by Murphy to leave the ball behind. Was that dropping it? The umpire says no. Curtis Barker trips over the boundary line 15 metres around from Cranbourne's attacking end.
This is good umpiring. They're letting things go a bit. They're letting the players they're making a few little mistakes, but they're letting them have that latitude.
So throw into a very dangerous position there. Holt doing the ruck against Meyer, but it's Beaconsfield defenders with numbers. Now White, he can just kick it towards space. It's going to be a foot race. McDermott has 2 to beat. First one there, Glenn Osborne. He needs to trap it. Morris is there in support. Morris goes back to Glenn Osborne. Oh, the hand pass left a lot to be desired. Allowed the Beaconsfield player Damien Johnson back into the contest. Glenn Osborne was terrific. He just held the play up. He knew he had to stay strong, and he did. The ball's going to be thrown up just forward of centre wing towards Beaconsfield's attacking end. They lead by 2 points.
Yeah, the bounce of the ball actually helped McDermott out. Then it gave him that chance to catch up a few steps.
So tap down. Johnson's wrapped up in a strong tackle there by Glenn Osborne. No reward to the tackler. The umpire says play on. Hermans collects the football and Beaconsfield collect him. The ball's now loose. Big congestion of players there. There's 7 or 8 players around the football. Lee Holt gets it going forward for Cranbourne. Loose football at centre half forward. Going through there was Curtis Barker. Applied some physicality. The umpire's paid a free kick for too high towards Swaja. I think it was a repay for the shoulder charge by Curtis Barker. But anyway, McPherson in space on centre wing. Goes long towards Chris Fletcher, a contender for that $500 cheque for the player of the final series at 33 years of age. Fletcher goes towards Joyce on the lead. Joyce couldn't take the mark. Good pressure from Weller. Weller goes in a second time, close to the boundary line, right in front of the scoreboard here at Edmund Flack Reserve. And the ball's going to be thrown in. 2 points in favour of Beaconsfield.
Great play by Fletcher too. Really stood his ground and was able to create that play. Unfortunately, it went out of bounds, but Beaconsfield in a dangerous position.
So throw in. There's a free kick off the play.
Jock pushed out.
For a push. Was it against Scott Myers claiming the free kick? Lindsay's disappointed with the umpire's decision. there was a pack of players around that football, but Meyer takes a free kick from 70 metres out. Meyer's gone long. Meyer's gone all the way. From 70 metres out, the ruckman of the year has kicked Beaconsfield's second goal for the quarter.
And they're certainly getting around him, aren't they? They're up and running now at the moment, Beaconsfield. While Cranbourne are running with them, Beaky, once they break, they're actually breaking. They're a bit quicker out of the block. So this is where I thought that week off, this is where it all counts now. So we'll see what happens as we keep going through this quarter.
5-5-35, Beaconsfield lead. Cranbourne 4-3-27. The only 2 goals in this third quarter have gone the way of Beaconsfield. The crowd are up and about, they're celebrating. So tap down, Theodoridis now on the ball. He needs to get his kick away quickly. He does so towards centre wing. Blake Pearce has McGowan to beat. Bouncing football. Blake Pearce, was he held on to? Yes, he was. McGowan's just been a little bit off today for Beaconsfield. That's his second infringement now. And Pearce can go long on centre wing. He's looking for Thal. He needs to stand up. Got 2 to beat off, flying high wide. Takes you out of the contest. Couldn't claim the mark. Under some pressure, Thal goes back by hand towards Lee Holt. McGowan, that's better play. Oh, his hand pass just missed the target there. Oh, he had a hit. Captain Mislicki. Beaconsfield could have loaded up from centre wing.
Yeah, that was a great mark if they got it taken that, hadn't it? Mark of the finals.
No one against the ruck there for Meyer, so he just punches at 30 metres. There's his opponent, Lindsay. Comes in, tries to break open the pack, but Daniel Johnson was there. Goes to Mislicki, the kick around the body. Russ watching the play, couldn't take the mark. Coming up to meet it there, Weller. Fends off his opponent in Fletcher, finds himself in space, and goes to Hermans. He had 2 to beat. The little man stood strong, and that was a courageous attempt with Kerrigan and Jock closing in. Yeah. So still inside defensive 50, Brad Hermans.
Yeah, it's very well done by Herman. Stood his ground beautifully then.
Short pass to Morris. Still defensive side of centre wing. Broadcast side of the ground. Morris from Cranbourne goes long. A little bit up and under. Thal has the front position. G does well. Ryan Jones now for Cranbourne. Got diving on the top of it. McGowan tries to bury his way through. Couldn't do so. And the umpire decides he's going to throw it up.
Good to see Thal coming up the ground a bit more in this third quarter. We saw last week especially, he spent a fair bit of time down at centre half forward. Good to see a bit of run and carry from him. Unfortunately, he can't get his hands on the ball much though.
Lindsay does well. Kerrigan tries to bust open the pack. Couldn't do so, the big bull that time. He lost his jets. And a push to the ground there by Hermans.
Scott Sutherland just having a look on the bench, really screaming at his players at this stage.
So Lindsay taps it down. Jones, or sliding over the top of it there, Mislicki. He just slid over the boundary line. The ball's going to be thrown in.
Yeah, again, they've bottled it up nicely, haven't they, Cranbourne? Stopped the Beakies' run.
So, 8 points the margin in favour of Beaconsfield. At the back of the throw-in comes Morris. Punches the ball forward for Curtis Barker. He saw Lee Holt in the corner of his eye. Lee Holt can run. He can take a second bounce here. Holt, can he break the tackle of Burton Cello? No, he couldn't. That's holding the footy. Then there was a lack of talk. He just tried to do a little bit too much, Lee Holt. Burton Cello received a free kick and plays on towards the outer side where he finds Batterglin. He takes a bounce. Short pass towards Meyer. Bouncing football now. The big man collects it well. Brings the ball back inside. Goes long. Looking for Taylor Joyce. Was there a push? The umpire says play on. Russ and Fletcher. Fletcher and Russ. The ball bounces away over the boundary line in front of the blue drink tent. Scoreboard. 12 minutes into this third quarter. Beaconsfield 5-5-35. In front of Cranbourne 4-3-27. They were trailing by 4 points at half time. They lead by 8 points now during the third quarter. Ball gets thrown in. Johnson was just on the ground. Big pack of players around this football. There's about 5 or 6 from both teams just sitting on top of the plate.
Now, as an umpire, we say he's missing a few things, but as a player, you love to see the umpire let the game go when it's so tight and congested. Brandon
Osborne worries Fletcher out of it, then goes back in. He was under some pressure himself. Got the ball towards Nick Barker, who hacks it out towards centre wing Meyer. Was that a throw? The umpire lets it go. Went back to Jaden G. He goes wide of his pass there towards McPherson, close to the boundary line. McPherson did well to get his kick away. Inside forward 50. The defenders and forwards do battle. And we're going to see the ball thrown up.
Great to see the crowd on the other side of the ground get involved as well as the ball's being played. As we hear the chant going up around the ground, can't quite make it out, but it's in a strong voice.
Lindsay taps it down towards the boundary line once again. Fletcher just trips over and takes the ball through on the paint of 50, right in front of the scoreboard. It reads 15 minutes gone. Beaky 5-5, Cranbourne 4-3. Throw in. Hughes now doing the ruck. has a blindside swipe at it, couldn't collect it. Coming up there, nice play by Dodsworth. The quick hand pass out towards McDermott. He saw the tackle was coming and he's drawn it.
He's played for that. He ducked into it.
He just stood his ground and just went back into it and drew it nicely. That's the professional free kick right there, the one that irks everybody, the person who's got the ball.
A Joel Selwood special by Troy McDermott. He just stood and allowed the tackle to come from Blake Pearce. Don't know if it was there, but the high contact definitely was. So McDermott, we need to see a better shot on goal than his last attempt from 30 metres out. McDermott's happy, and so are the Beaky supporters. 3 goals in this third quarter, all the way at Beaconsfield. They go to 6-5-41, leading Cranbourne 4-3-27, 14 points the margin as Gary Valentine walks past and gives me a cheeky smile.
Strong play there from Beaconsfield. Now they're starting to carry on with the game a bit. They're breaking it open. They're really taking it on and they're taking their chances. The running carry from the midfield, though, is really selling it. They're getting it into their forwards, and their forward pressure is really what's keeping them in this game. They've got the lead now, and at this stage, it looks like they're going to run away with the win.
That's the biggest margin of this grand final in favour of Beaconsfield. Maya to Swaja, the kick around the body. Pollard does well there against Brandon Osborne. They're doing battle. Hughes tackles Morris. Is that holding the football? No, Morris and Hughes have a go. Brandon Osborne goes in just to make sure everything's okay. There's been a free kick. Hughes is still going at it. Those crowd, you were so thankful for Trent getting involved now, that's for sure. The free kick's gone to Morris there against Hughes. Little things like this can swing the momentum in the grand final as Morris takes it out of defensive 50, goes towards Curtis Barker. Couldn't take the mark, then got bumped out of the contest. There's 10 players around this football going through Maslicki, couldn't get it out. The Cranbourne players are really under some pressure. The hand pass by Curtis Barker, has been called back for out of bounds.
Yeah, it's little things, as I said, that chase by Bertoncello on Holt. Holt was clear there and he ran him down and then they turned it over and got that goal. So there's those little things now. 14
points the margin, 17 minutes gone here of the third quarter. Dodsworth, another entry inside forward 50, and he's found the captain Maslicki in space. Well, we wouldn't have thought Daniel Maslicki was going to be a scoring option the way he's played. He has kicked a few goals in his time, but if he kicks this, it's 3 goals in a grand final.
A tough kick from this sort of angle as well. We saw the breeze in the first and second quarter really carried across the face of goal towards the broadcast side.
But he's in the right pocket to do
and
this.
Here comes Daniel Maslicki. He shoots the right footer. He's gone all the way from 40 metres out. That's the third goal for Daniel Maslicki. Beaconsfield's 4th goal of the quarter. They say the third quarter is the premiership quarter, and it's going the way of Beaconsfield. They've extended their margin to the biggest lead. It's now 20 points. 7-5-47 to 4-3-27. Thanks to Dance Nightclub in Berwick. Beaconsfield kick away.
Great play. Oh, sorry, Jared. Great play from Maslicki there. Really, he's the sort of captain you like to have in your side. He's standing up in the big games. You don't get any bigger than the grand final. A great goal to extend Beaconsfield lead. Here come the Eagles. Beaconsfield Eagles.
Yeah, he was in the right pocket to kick that goal in front of the scoreboard, just had to set it up in the square.
Another clearance going the way of Beaconsfield, but Curtis Barker was there to intercept. Hand pass it out towards Fletcher, who's been quiet in this third quarter. Going through there was that Glenn Osborne just getting picked up on a strong tackle for Cranbourne. Let me just...
yeah, not too sure who that was, couldn't make it.
That was Big Hugo. So the ball's going to be thrown up. On the half-forward line for Beaconsfield, Boland taps it towards his teammate there in Blake Pearce, and he was brought to ground quite heavily once again.
Yeah, just another one of these little bits of play.
It was actually Michael Theodoridis, sorry boys, at the bottom of the pack. The Golden Greek chasing a kick. So Meyer just punched the ball 15 metres towards Hughes, who couldn't collect it. Damien Johnston does. Sweeping hand pass over the top towards McPherson. Gets inside forward 50. McPherson goes long. 2-on-1 in favour of Cranbourne. Joyce at the back of the pack. Loose football. McDermott there to Daniel Johnston. In 2 minds. Wants to square it up. They need a mark. But no one there at the front of the square. Curtis Barker reading the play nicely. Takes a mark on his chest.
Yeah, had the right idea to put it in a dangerous spot, but none of the Beaky boys were thinking that way as well.
They're going towards the outer side once again. Plan A not working for Cranbourne at the moment. Meyer couldn't take the mark. The ball's loose. In they go. Damien Johnson gets the hand pass to McPherson. Looking for Taylor Joyce. Up he goes. Couldn't take the mark. Was there a free kick? Not paid. Jones goes in. Drops the football. And the umpires penalise Ryan Jones for dropping the football. The free kick's gone towards the Beaconsfield captain, Miss Licky.
Again, another shot on goal. Again, he's in that right pocket.
Was Jones unlucky?
No, I think it was like the one out there before. They grabbed his other arm. We couldn't do much to get rid of it, and unfortunately the umpire was standing right in front of him.
20 points the margin in favour of Beaconsfield. Can Mislicki make it 26 from only 35 metres out? You bet he can. 4 goals to the captain. Beaconsfield, Premiership football in the Premiership quarter. It's now 26 points. That's their 5th goal of this third term, and they go to 8-5-53, leading Cranbourne 4-3-27.
Well, who would have picked this 2 weeks ago? We had 4 teams left in the final series and we're down to 2, and Beaconsfield have been the underdogs in the last 4 weeks, and now they're standing up in the biggest game of the year, the grand final here at Edwin Flat Reserve. What a great game. The crowd is still involved. It's a great game of footy. It's really starting to open it up now, and it's really exciting to watch as well.
So we've gone 22 minutes here of the third quarter. Meyer just dominating the clearances through his ruck work at the moment. Players are down everywhere. Murphy from Cranbourne gets the hand pass to B. Hugo. The kick around the body. You have to be brave. But taking a good mark on his chest there was Jaden G. He's got Burton Cello. Oh, the pass. Bouncing, falling short. Burton Cello comes up to meet it. Clash there with Murphy. Gets the ball out. Fletcher tries to break the tackle of Matt Fletcher from Cranbourne. This is good team play by Beaconsfield. Daniel Johnson runs the full 15 metres and goes long looking for Taylor Joyce. He had 2 to beat. He was never going to. The ball spills to Miss Licky. The hand pass towards McPherson. McPherson from 30 metres out. Another one for Beaconsfield.
Yeah, geez, they're running hot at the moment, aren't they?
6 goals in this third quarter the way of Beaconsfield. 9-5-59 Beaconsfield. Cranbourne 4-3-27.
Well, that was actually great play out in the wing here. I forget who got the ball on the wing just right there, but he looked up. Cranbourne have dropped Troy Thale back loose in the back line, so that's left from Beaconsfield loose in the back line, and he looked up, saw him there, so kicked over his head and gave Taylor Joyce a better crack at it, and he contested, went over the top, and they ran onto an open goal.
So Meyer taps the ball down off Fletcher. Does some tough work there for Beaconsfield. Gets the clearance and gets the ball inside forward 50. Loose footy now. Brandon Osborne takes a while to collect it. Oh, he's wrapped up in a strong tackle by Pollard and Hughes. And the ball's going to be thrown up just inside the paint of 50 in front of that huge crowd in front of the Edwin Flack scoreboard.
Yeah, but goes again now, tapped down.
No, Jared, we just need to comment. There was nothing there. So Gearan tries to give the don't argue. Can he break the tackle? No, he couldn't. He was wrapped up. And we're going to see the ball thrown up.
Yeah, it's thrown up again, and this is what it does. We have 10 metres of this, throw up, about 5 throw up, and then it suddenly opens up perfectly.
Well, I didn't expect this at half-time. Beaconsfield, with everything on the line in this third quarter, have really opened it up now with 6 goals to 1 behind. If we just go quiet for a moment here, you can hear the crowd in the background. Well, I don't know what's happening with our equipment here. I apologise. You're tuned in live to KC Radio 97.7 FM. Tap down. Fletcher applies a tackle. The ball comes out to Glenn Osborne. The kick around the body. They compete on centre wing. Ryan Jones had 2 to beat. He couldn't do so. There's a loose football. Going in there was Daniel Johnson. Gets a hand pass towards G. His kick was smothered. The ball ricochets to Ryan Jones. The kick around the body. Holt has 2 to beat. Loose football now. The boundary line went out. Brandon White happy to see it over. And the ball's going to be thrown in.
And there's Brandon White. He backs his judgment. He left the Theodoridis then to go and help Bataglan. Affected the spoil and saw it comfortably over the boundary line.
So the ball's thrown in. It's been a while since we've been in this position for Cranbourne. Tap down to Ryan Jones. The kick around the body. They're desperate for a mark. Oh, White was inspirational. Flew high. Brings the ball down towards Burton Cello. Tries to break the tackle of Murphy. Oh, the umpire had a decision. Holding the ball out of bounds. And he went out of bounds.
Yeah, the boundary umpire got in first then.
Right next to the point post. The ball's going to be thrown in. Dangerous position here for Beaconsfield's defence, you would think. Punch towards the hot spot. Oh, getting tripped there was Burton Cello. No free kick paid. There's 10 or so players around this football. And we're going to see the ball thrown up 20 metres out directly in front of Cranbourne's goal. They're attacking to the high school end here at Edwin Flack Reserve in Berwick. 32 points the margin. in favour of Beaconsfield. Up they go. Jock doing the ruck work there. The ball gets tapped down. Cello just kicks the ball forward. It's bouncing all the way to defensive 50. Backing there is Brandon Osborne, wrapped up in a strong tackle by Fletcher. Glenn Osborne goes in. His hand pass has been intercepted. Nice play by Mitchum for Beaconsfield. He kicks it to centre half forward. Taylor Joyce at the front position. Was there a free kick? No. Oh, Taylor Joyce seems to have gone down injured. The ball comes to Weller. Kick off the side of the boot. We're going to see a foot race between Meyer and Morris. Oh, Meyer does well. He tapped it towards Jock. Morris wanted the ball more. Went in a good second effort. Gets the hand pass back to Russ. Short pass. He just checked it a little bit. Oh, bad bounce there for Murphy. Went straight to Meyer. Cello to Jock. The 1-2 close to the boundary line. And the boundary line wins out there, Jared. 26 minutes gone here of the third quarter. Beaconsfield 9-5-59. Cranbourne 4-3-27.
Yeah, they just worked it around nicely by hand then and kept themselves out of trouble, Beaconsfield.
So throw in. Boland couldn't get it out. The kick was out of the clearance. Finds Curtis Barker, who goes long. Holt and Battaglan and Holt. Will Holt claim the mark? I think it's bounced, and the mark won't be paid.
Well, he won't be happy with
and
that.
The ball's going to be thrown up right on the pane of 50, directly in front of Cranbourne's attacking end. They've only kicked 1 point in this third quarter. Tap down. Daniel Johnston gets a little bit of a push. He was trying to find Fletcher by hand. Good work there by Tim Smith to tap it into the path for Behugo. Behugo couldn't collect it. Tim Smith went in. He was wrapped up. The ball spills to Chris Fletcher. He kicks it long. Bouncing football now. Osborne's there. He couldn't collect it. Beaconsfield player tries to go in. It was McDermott. He leaves the ball behind. The don't argue was given. The umpire says holding the football, but advantage has been paid. Sees Cranbourne on the half forward line. Jones inside forward 50 to Murphy. Oh, he flew. He couldn't claim the mark. It's loose, and there goes the siren.
Jeez, what a great couple of minutes at the end of the third quarter, wasn't there? Where Cranbourne did all the attacking, but just couldn't get it through. And Beaconsfield backline has stood up for the 3 quarters. It's been tested and tested and tested. It was tested there, and they just stood up. So it's going to be a huge, huge last quarter.
It is indeed. Only 30 minutes remain for the season.
And with this lead, after what Cranbourne did last week, you cannot write them off, can you?
No, they're going to need something special. If there's a team to do it, it's going to be Cranbourne. But gee, they're picking them to canvas. It was a big pack of players that all went to the ground.
Throwing balloons around, that's probably what it is. Tapping
the final around. Quarter of season 2014. Which Eagle is the biggest? Who wants it more? 30 minutes will tell. This is the final quarter as Meyer taps it down to the ball. Oh, he's run a long way. Long kick inside forward 50. Where's Taylor Joyce? He couldn't get enough space to take the mark. Loose football. Chris Fletcher, what a way to start the final quarter. 7 unanswered goals to Beaconsfield. Chris Fletcher kicks his first and Beaconsfield's 10th. They go to 10-5-65. Cranbourne 4-3-27. It's going to be hard work here for Cranbourne.
Yeah, and Hermans wants to let Kerrigan know he's around, but it's all right to push and shove, but you've got to be able to stop his clearance out of the middle, and he just ran through. We know he loves to run and crash through packs. That's why he's called the bull, and that's what he did then.
10-5-65 Beaconsfield. Chris Fletcher, one of the contenders for the $500 Player of the Final Series, as we know. It's this Cranbourne's last chance as Matt Fletcher kicks it long, bouncing football. G and Thal. G's been fantastic today. A little hand pass there by Lincoln's back to G. Goes to a 2-on-1 contest. Fella flies, couldn't take the mark. Mislicky falls into the tackle there of Fletcher. And Matt Fletcher went pretty hard at it. But Mislicky's kicked 4 goals today in an inspirational performance. The 31-year-old veteran who's been a leader of this football club for a long time. Boland taps it down, but it was sharp nicely there by Kerrigan. The kick around the body towards McDermott. And McDermott just does the safe thing and punches it towards the boundary line.
Yeah, that was well done by McDermott. He was bodied out of it there and he just got his punch in and spoiled the contest, and now it's a throw-in, 50-50.
Now, I mentioned Stuart Merrick, one of our technical directors here. Last time in this situation, he hatched an egg. I don't know what's happening to him now, but he's gone a shade of purple. 50 Shades of Purple, Stuart Merrick. This will be on the video with all your Beaconsfield friends. The ball's going to be thrown up on the half-forward line. Boland does the rucking by himself. It's a long punch. Barker took his eyes off the football, allowed Beaconsfield in. Lincolns just kicks it and hopes that someone will run onto it. It's Chris Fletcher of Beaconsfield. The old arms couldn't get down to it. Russ is there off the half-back flank. Thales on the lead. That's ignored. He kicks it towards Morris. Morris takes the mark. on centre wing, goes with a short step pass on a long lead. There was Mark Holt. Was he infringed? No free kick paid. They're sitting on top of the football now. Shoots out towards Morris. Mark Holt hasn't got back to his feet. Beaconsfield through McPherson. The kick around the body, punching away nicely. That time was Russ. Cranbourne still with run. This time it's Fella. He goes long. They need a mark. Theodoritis does all the body work but couldn't claim it. Going back with the football there was Meyer for Beaconsfield. He has to get down, the big man. He couldn't do so. Curtis Barker's there trying to get it out. The umpire will have to go in and throw it up.
Yeah, I can't believe why Theodoritis is continually trying to body out wide. He knows he can't do it. He should have learned from the last game and the last 2 quarters. He's got to run him around.
So, Beaconsfield, can they make it 12 wins in a row and win on the biggest stage in this competition? Tap down. Damien Johnson was there. The ball came out towards White. He just punches the ball through for a behind. Cranbourne have scored twice in this second half. Both have been behinds. It won't be enough to win you a grand final this year, you wouldn't think. As White brings in with a long penetrating kick towards Pollard. He flies early. Was Thal retarded? No. The ball spills out there towards Lee Holt. The kick around the body. They need a mark. Mark Holt was out of position. Oh, close to the goal line there by Curtis Barker. The umpire had a choice. Was either a goal or touched.
He's got the touch.
Took a while to work that out as well. Came with a close stare at me, but no. If it was there, he's got to pay it, and it was. Looked from here like it might have been a goal, but he's obviously in the best position, so well done to Glenn.
So White kicking it in. Oh, that one wasn't as good as his last attempt. Just dribbles out of defensive 50. Cranbourne with the momentum. The soccer coming forward there by Brandon Osborne, it looks like, and it's gone out of bounds. Oh, it's gone through for a point. So 3 consecutive scores to Cranbourne, all behinds, and they now go to 4-6-30, trailing Beaconsfield 10-5-65. Oh, they kick in. Having to wait there was Miss Slicky. Closing him down was Gearin. Now Theodoritis. Gibson don't argue. Oh, he's been wrapped up. The umpire didn't penalise him this time. Going through Daniel Johnson. His hand pass was intercepted by Max Gearin. They kick around the body. Can this be a momentum swing that Cranbourne's been waiting for? Something out of nothing for Max Gearin. They go to 5-6-36, trailing Beaconsfield 10-5-65.
Well, we know this is what Cranbourne do. They've had all the play in the last 3 minutes in their forward line, just attack, and now they've got it through for a goal, and this is how they started the last quarter last week.
And a great result for Max Gearin as well. Cranbourne's forward line really had to fight for that goal, and they never let up, and a great result, and hopefully this can be the start of something special that we all know Cranbourne are capable of in this last quarter.
So the ball's been thrown up. Meyer's been inspirational this afternoon, probably one of the best players on the ground, if not the best player. And out of the clearance, the ball was loose, and they've jumped on top of it, and the umpire's given a penalty for holding the football against Swaja. Well, there's 7 players on top of it. How do you pick a winner? Well, Cranbourne have won out of this contest. It's Lee Holt. He goes long. Mark Holt takes the front position. Theodoritis flies high from the back, but couldn't claim the mark. Jock gets a hand pass there towards G. Finds him space at centre half back, but it's a hurried kick forward. All players tumble from behind. Morris couldn't take the mark. Swaja is in there, battling hard. Damien Swaja.
Having a look at when Cranbourne are running forward, Mark Holt really needs to come up the ground a bit more. They need that strong, tall target at roughly centre half forward to be able to get it in. If he can't have the shot, Theodoritis is down there to kick the goals for him.
Another clearance to Beaconsfield, but Lincoln's kick was the right idea, just failed in the execution, but Lincoln's gone in again. Applied a strong tackle to Brandon Osborne, who managed to get the hand pass away. Curtis Barker slides in and drags Daniel Johnson over the boundary line.
Yeah, I'm just wondering whether Mark Holt can actually do that now. He's pretty proppy now, and he was proppy last week, but he looks a bit more in doubt.
Meyer and Boland. Isn't it funny how Meyer stepped up and Boland's been invisible in this second half? Dodsworth, the kick around the body, hoping to find someone who could mark. Pollard and McDermott out of position. Allowed Morris to take the mark. It's actually Brandon Osborne, I apologise. No, it was Morris. I was right the first time. He kicks it long. Oh, foul. That's a contested mark. He was third man into the pack against McPherson and Jock, and he's taken a good mark. Plays on. Goes to Curtis Barker. Battery run down by McDermott. No advantage down the field. Mark Holt on a long lead. Couldn't claim the mark. Ryan Jones, can he trap it? No, he can't. Bertoncello is just circling his prey, but Jones decided to let that ball run out of bounds. Nearly 9 minutes gone to this final quarter, boys. Beaconsfield 10-5-65, Cranbourne 5-6-36, thanks to Dance Nightclub in Berwick.
Yeah, Cranbourne have done all the attacking now. The first goal in the first 30 seconds to Beaky, but then they haven't got their hands on the ball enough.
Jock kicks it, hoping to find Hollick. Couldn't quite get the distance. Curtis Barker, a little bit uncharacteristic on his attack on the football there. He spilt it. Matt Fletcher couldn't get away from Hollick and Swaja. And we're going to see the ball thrown up. Broadcast side of the ground on the half-forward flank. Tap down there by Thal. Holt's just gone into Meyer and canned it into him. He's been wrapped up, though, Lee Holt, by Daniel Johnston. And the umpire's paid a free kick for a throw or incorrect disposal. And taking the free kick, the relieving free kick, is Daniel Johnston. He tries to go out towards Burton Cello. The swing of the ball brings Battaglan into the play. Battaglan does well. Just providing some body support there for Burton Cello, who's now brought the ball all the way to centre wing. Third bounce. About to be run down. Has to kick it off. Damien Johnson applies the bump on Giron. And a nice pass there by Burton Cello finds Fletcher. Runs through the centre of Edmund Flack off Fletcher. Oh, the kick was touched. It wasn't paid. Hughes gets brought to ground. Vella to Russ to beat Hugo, but Hugo will need to go long. Forward a long lead in front of G, takes the mark. This players are loose inside forward, 50 for Cranbourne. And Murphy's pass is found. Theodoridis. It was actually Max Giron with the pass to Theodoridis, I apologise. And Theodoridis for back-to-back goals here for Cranbourne. They can bring the margin back to 23 points.
A huge kick here from Theodoridis. You can almost get the sense that this kick will decide the rest of this game. If he can put this through, game on. If he misses, it's going to make it tough. He's kicking from about 40 out.
And here comes Michael Theodoridis. It looks accurate. They'll compete on the line, off hands.
Hit the post.
And hit the post. Scott Myers a mountain at this time of the game trying to kick over him. He couldn't quite get there. I don't know what's wrong with Gallery Valentine. He seems a little bit lost and spaced out. I'm not sure what's happening there. Dodsworth gets the 1-2 there with Swaja. He kicks it long. Oh, courageous effort there by Lee Holt. And just giving him a little rib tickler there was Scott Pollard. And I think Lee Holt enjoys that. He just smiles. They need the next goal. Oh, what did Lee Holt do there? He ran too close to the man on the mark. Then kicked it off the side of the boot. So yeah, Lee Holt's coming off favouring his shoulder. That's the second time Lee Holt let himself down to his disposal this afternoon. Mislicki was the beneficiary. He kicks it long, bouncing football for Pollard. He's got space. He's not looking to use the space though. Wrapped up in a strong tackle by Morris. Gets his kick away. Loose football. Brandon Osborne, the toe poke to Pearce. He breaks 2 tackles. Hand pass to Barker. Barker through the centre of Edmund Flack. He kicks it long. Holt, Battaglan, over the top. Loose football. Ryan Jones, bouncing football. Taps it in the space. Coming back, Brandon White. Brandon White. Oh, courageous. Didn't go over the boundary line. Theodoridis tapped it to Barker. Barker with the banana. Jeez, that was a lazy shot on goal by Curtis Barker. At this stage of the game, you need more from your leaders than that.
It was unreal. Brandon White thought he'd done enough to get it over the line, and he didn't follow up. Then Curtis Barker has just a lazy shot at goal like that where he could have run in and taken a few steps more.
The banana straight into the point post. As Battaglan goes short and finds Jaden G. He's been one of Beaconsfield's better players this afternoon, I thought, Jaden G. He's played well on Troy Thal at centre half back. G goes long. Pollard wasn't even looking at the play there, just jumped into the pack, allowed Brandon Osmond some space. Kick inside forward, 50. There's been a free kick off the play against Stuart Morris. And looks like it's going to go the way of Pollard, but Swaja will take the kick. Did you see anything there, boys? I missed it.
No, I didn't see that. The play was running all the way back to us, and it looks like Beaky have thrown Brent Hughes into the back line just for that height.
He's been used in a variety of positions today, Hughes.
He has.
Showing some versatility. Swaja goes towards Damien Johnston. He goes to his twin, Daniel. Funny story of season 2014. The Johnson brothers injured themselves quite seriously 5 minutes apart of the pre-season training camp. Talk about intuition between twins. The kick forward, Weller takes the front position and beats 3 players to take the mark.
Yeah, Scotty Moore not happy. Then he was being manhandled away from the marking contest.
So Weller goes long. Jones has 4 to beat. He does well. Takes the mark and plays on. Probably should have gone back, but doesn't matter now. Play on. Curtis Barker plays for the free kick and gets it. Gee, we're seeing some performances out there by the players playing for free kicks. Jones was in space inside forward 50. Barker kicks a mongrel punt forward, but taking the front position there in front of White was our man, Michael Theodoridis, the Golden Greek.
Strong mark there by Theodoridis. This one has to be a certain goal. If he needs to put this through to bring it back to 20 points, bring it back to a game-on position where Cranbourne have got a real chance of taking this game away from Beaconsfield. It's going to be a tough kick, maybe just right of the right goal post.
So he's kick 2. Can he make it 3 and bring it back to 22 points? Michael Theodoridis kicks it across the face and through for 1 behind.
Yeah, it's very interesting. Since the first minute of this quarter where Beaconsfield got the break, kicked the goal, they haven't got to pass their half-forward line.
The big difference in this game, Beaconsfield had 7 shots in that third quarter. They kicked 6 goals, 1 to Cranbourne. They've kicked 1 goal, 5. Make that 5 goals, 1, and we're looking at a 6-point difference. Kick in, Hugo takes the front position, couldn't take the mark. 3 Beaconsfield players tackle him, and he did well to hold that up. The ball's going to be thrown up. You've got to take your opportunities on the big stage, Jared.
They certainly do, yep. And as you're right, third quarter Beaconsfield took all their opportunities. Here they go again.
Johnston, the Damien variety. Short stab pass to Pollard. He's got Joyce breaking into the pocket. He's going to go that way now. Taylor Joyce takes the mark on his chest.
Made it hard for him.
He's been a little bit subdued after he received a knock in that first quarter. And he's slow to his feet there.
Looks to be a bit limp in his right leg there, Kane, as he's coming back. Saw him coming into three-quarter time as well.
He was never confident about going for goals. We've gone short to Mitchum. Mitchum for 40 metres out. Troy Mitchum, that's the sealer. That's the one that will put Cranbourne away. Troy Mitchum kicks his first goal of the afternoon, and Beaconsfield's 11th. 11-5-71. In front of Cranbourne, 5-8-38. 13 minutes gone in this final quarter, thanks to Dance Night Club in Berwick.
Having a look at the crowd too behind the goals as it went straight through the middle. Great kick there, and everyone knows it too. We're going just over 15 minutes in the last quarter, and Beaconsfield has stretched their lead to over 25 points now. It's going to be tough for Cranbourne to come back and win this one from here. Well done to Beaconsfield. It's not over yet though. We've still got another 8 to 10 minutes left to play, you think, but really going to be tough for Cranbourne to win this from here.
I think that's the straw that broke the camel's back. Boland taps it down. Oh, coming through there was Dodsworth. He plays the ball to himself and keeps running. Boland puts some pressure there back on Mitchum. Mitchum wants him just as much. Brings him to ground. The ball spills free. Hermans has the ball socked away. Good tap there by Damien Johnson. Tom Jock, if hardly called him today. Keep battling hard. Gets a hand pass there towards Swaja. He'll go back to Jock. 60 metres out. Jock tries to run himself into some space. Kicks the ball forward. The juggling attempt not paid there to Pollard. The kick around the body by Brett Hughes. Well, that would have brought the crowd down. Or the stadium down, whatever. The kick's gone through for a point.
Yeah, take your opportunities. Beaconsfield have only been in there 53 times this quarter and scored each time.
So 11-6-72, the Eagles. Leading the Eagles 5-8-38. 16 minutes gone here of the final quarter. The long kick in. Vella was bumped out of position. Allowed Jock to take the mark. He sees an option inside forward 50. It was Pollard. Goes to the one hand. Couldn't complete the mark. Curtis Barker to his brother Nick. He'll bring it out towards the crowd side here and finds Morrish. There's a big crowd in front of the Berwick booth tent here. I should say booze tent, really. It is. The kick towards a 2-on-1 contest. Juggling attempt not paid there to Theodoridis. The ball comes out. Jock tries to tap it into space. Beaconsfield once again with the numbers. The short pass finds Swaja. Too far out to score, so he goes towards Joyce in the pocket. Weller drops a mark, but his second effort was good. Butted up nicely to Curtis Barker. He goes to Blake Pearce. You can just feel that this game's gone out a little bit. This thing's gone out of it. Blake Pearce takes 2 bounces to Murphy. Back to Pearce. He can go in board to Boland. Decides to do it himself. Goes inside forward 50. And Batterglen, reliable as ever, takes the mark in front of a dejected Mark Holt.
Pearce did some great work there, took them all on, and the only thing that let him down was the disposal right at the end.
So it's on centre wing. I'm just noticing this big green army on the outer side. They're just moving their way down security to wherever the nauseous brigade is. So fast, so good. Great crowd in attendance.
I don't know if Pollard's got something wrong with his arm, but he's been one-handed all day.
Swaja, another entry inside forward 50, bouncing football. Can they trap it there? Beaconsfield. Maslicki tried, didn't receive the free kick. Going through Ryan Jones. Hand pass out towards Russ. McPherson closes in. McPherson applies a strong tackle, brings him to the ground. The ball goes out of bounds.
Interesting result for Cranbourne, pushing it over the boundary line. This is where Beaconsfield have been dangerous, especially inside their own forward 50. very dangerous position now. Beaconsfield with a chance to kick an absolute sealer.
So Hughes takes the front position, brings the ball to ground. Miss Licky gets the hand pass out. Oh, Swaja with the banana. Swaja, if you don't mind. Swaja, all she wrote, Swaja. Damien Swaja kicks his second goal.
Are you starting to sing? Is she warming up, the tonsils? Fat lady?
Might be getting close to that sort of time now as we just tick inside 20 minutes into the last quarter. Beaconsfield, well done. Congratulations. It'd be safe to say the game's done and dusted at this point, wouldn't we would all say here, but
well, we said that spot was dangerous in there, and it was, and they pushed it forward. Miss Licky was in there pushing it forward. Hughes pushed it forward. Swaja ran onto it and kicked a nice check side straight through the middle.
So, nearly towards 20 minutes here of this final quarter. Kerrigan gets a hand pass to Mitchum. Be another entry inside forward 50 where Hughes takes the mark. Although he's yet to hit the scoreboard, he has been good this afternoon. Hughes from 55 metres out. Hughes, up they fly. Pollard couldn't mark. And off hands and through for one behind.
Yeah, I think he has left shoulder.
Yeah, and he's favouring a little bit as he runs towards the pocket. Oh, you're right onto it, Jared Healy. That's why you're one of the best in the business. Jared Healy, Trent Knight, bring you all the comments here for the 2014 Grand Final. They kick in, looking for Morris. Hughes sets the front position. Oh, collision of players there. Murphy and the Swacha. The soccer coming out. Cranbourne's favour. They're on centre wing. Kerrigan in space. He's been quiet this afternoon, the ball. Hand pass over there looking for Daniel Johnston. Vella goes in. He's wrapped up. Has to just volleyball spike it out of the pack. Meyer goes to Lincolns. The hurried kick forward. They need a mark, Beaconsfield, but Lee Holt back on the ground does well. You can use Blake Pearce. Well, Blake Pearce runs and then realises he's got nowhere to go. Wrapped up there by Hughes. Lee Holt took too long to get the football. He was tackled strongly there by McGowan. McPherson goes in. And you can see Chris Fletcher there just on the boundary line. He's been one of Beaconsfield's better players this season. So the ball's been thrown up. Thal and Hughes, or both players, just punched each other in the hand. Thal seems to be injured in that rucking contest. The kick coming forward. They need a mark. Pollard flies with his one hand. Punt brings the ball to ground. McGowan tries to get it out there towards Damien Johnson. The kick around the body. There's a loose goal square. Who wants it? Miss Licky. The captain has 5. Well, if it wasn't done, it is now. 13 goals to Beaconsfield.
No, goal's been cancelled. A free kick's been paid.
By the pull down in the Shepherd.
So Suarez has been penalised. I didn't see anything too untoward there.
Sorry to steal your thunder.
That's
there,
all right.
Kane.
No, you got to call it as it is. There was no goal. And Cranbourne now. At 21 minutes gone in this final quarter, you think it'd be too far from here. As Brandon Osborne's pass goes to Ryan Jones, now Boland in space. He can go for short pass, looking for Mark Holt. Juggling attempt. Oh, Bataclan's done well. Hand pass towards G. The combination inside that defensive zone for Beaconsfield have been fantastic. Every one of their defensive players has stood up today and has made it very hard for the elusive Mark Holt and Michael Theodoridis to operate. They started the first half with 2 goals apiece. They've been unsighted in this second half when it's been all Beaconsfield. They've kicked 7 goals to 1 in this second half of football. That's enough to win you a grand final any day of the week. As Meyer, inside defensive 50, goes short. Chris Fletcher, will he be the man taking home the $500 check? Quite possibly, as Fletcher goes back out there towards Damien Johnson, who's taken the mark on his chest on centre wing. Damien Johnson, can he try and find an option further afield? He holds on and patiently waits, tries to find Joyce. Joyce now receives the hand pass there from Miss Licky. The kick forward. Oh, Pearce and McPherson go at it. It was actually Mitchum. Pearce takes the game on, gets the hand pass towards Curtis Barker. Curtis Barker just lets the ball go towards the boundary line. Then we're going to see the ball thrown in.
Yeah, they can't get any clean possession now, Cranbourne. They just scrap.
There's some tired bodies out there now.
Certainly is. Every time they get a chance to break free, they just can't dispose of it with 100%.
Yeah, they know that it's going to be hard to try and get a victory out of this. Swacha, close to the boundary line, kicks around the body. Oh, McGowan's wrapped up in a strong tackle there.
Is that like a wrestling tackle?
Yeah.
Roll him over?
Yeah.
So,
He's just brought him to ground. So inside defensive 50. Beaconsfield. Pollard, was he held on to? No free kick paid. Going through Miss Licky. Kicks the ball to a dangerous position. Loose football. McDermott slips over. Nick Barker cleans up once again for the Cranbourne defence. He brings it out towards the outer side where he's looking for Lee Holt. He can go over the top to Gearin or go longer. Lindsay's going to be the option. Loose football now on the half-forward line. Theodoridis just bowled him. He didn't bend over to pick up that football. Brandon White shrugs off the tackle from the Golden Greek and keeps going. Well, this is just a definition of today's play. Plenty of run coming from the Beaconsfield defence. They've cleared it nicely. 2 hand passes and a kick, and they've got it to the half-forward line. Jones has 2 Beaconsfield players to beat the kicker around the body. Jared, probably not really his intended target going out of bounds on the ball.
No, just a tired kick though, sort of picking up and got, I've got to get rid of this, and I think that was hurried more than it needed to be.
So the kick inboard now. The Bull goes long for a 60-metre pass. They need a mark. All Cranbourne defenders crash into each other. Mislicky's there. Goes in a second time. Now McDermott spins back around. Sees a player loose in the pocket. And it's McPherson. And McPherson will line up to have a shot on goal.
You think Mislicky wants his 4th or 3rd goal? Which is it?
His 5th.
His 5th goal.
He just went with the short pass, so he lowered the eyes. He didn't blaze away. And McPherson, who kicked Beaconsfield's 9th goal, can line up for his 2nd goal. They currently lead now by 51 points. Can they make it 57? Oh, McPherson testing the goal umpire, but it's through. 13 goals now to Beaconsfield. 13-7, 85, leading Cranbourne 5-8-38. Thanks to Dance Nightclub in Berwick, you're tuned in to KC Radio 97.7 FM, exclusive broadcast of the KC Gdynia Grand Final.
McPherson's one player's really worked into this game. It'd be fair to say he had his colours lowered by Ryan Jones first off, because Ryan was everywhere, but he's just got him nicely now, and he's kicked 2 goals, and this is what he does. He stops someone, then he starts attacking.
Well, there's a bit of a screech in the background there. People are leaving the ground in numbers here. It's quite unbelievable. The kick's on the half-forward line. Pollard's taking a mark and decides to go short to Kerrigan. Kerrigan from 50 metres out, going for the extra distance. Kicked it across the face. They do battle. Joyce couldn't take the mark for Beaconsfield. The ball's still free coming through there for Cranbourne. It looks like it was Curtis Barker. He couldn't collect it.
Joyce has done quite well.
That was actually
today.
Morris.
So he's had to battle 2 opponents most of the day in marking contests, so he's done well.
13-6, 85 to 5-8-38. And the shot coming out of the clearance there for Beaconsfield. It looks like it came from Troy McDermott and went across the face and through for one behind. Trent's down at ground level. Trent.
Yeah, just standing behind Beaconsfield's players and coaches box down on the boundary line, and they're all smiles. They know this game's done and dusted. It's a formality now. We're just waiting for the cheer at the end of the game. Once that siren goes, you wait for the cheer in the background, guys.
So the kick forward coming from Brandon Osborne to a 2-on-2 contest. Jones, front and square, got the loose crumbs, and then just poke kick there towards Vella, who marks. His run's gone out of the game as this game's gone longer. 4 consecutive weeks for Cranbourne might be taking its toll. The long kick in, Mark Holt had 3 to beat, couldn't do so. The ball got punched away towards the boundary line, and the ball's going to be thrown in. Cranbourne attacking towards the Cardi Hotel end. There might be a celebration down there tonight, you would think. Or Dance Nightclub in Berwick, of course, the best place to celebrate if you can't get into the Cardi. The ball's been thrown in. Lindsay taps the ball down. Doing the roving there was Hugo. That was actually Max Gearin, I should say. Tried to duck his way out of the tackle. Couldn't do so. Mark Holt's kick was smothered. The Bull, Ben Kerrigan. He takes the bounce. He'll get around Boland. He takes a second bounce. Will he take a third bounce? No. He kicks the ball long off the side of the boot. Taylor Joyce wasn't even watching. He turned around and take the mark. McDermott breaks for him. McDermott on the lead takes that as well. Oh, he swings around McDermott, looking to play on quickly. It's close to the end of the game. 27 minutes gone. They need a mark inside forward 50. And Mislicki, the captain of Beaconsfield, stood tall and took the mark on his chest there against Murphy. Probably unlucky he didn't get the 50-metre penalty. You asked him, does he want 5, Jared? Well, in he comes now from only 30 metres out. Daniel Mislicki. That's 5 goals for the captain in an inspirational, most valuable player performance, you would think. 5 goals from Daniel Mislicki. Yeah. What an inspirational captain.
just shows how much they all love him too. They ran from everywhere for him. Scotty Moore came out of the middle of the ground into the forward line. And you got Beaconsfield's back line. They're all giving each other the punching high five, as you like to say. Collectively, they've done a great job today, and they know it too now.
And it's great to see that Cranbourne are still playing with the respect to see this game out. We haven't seen any fireworks or any spot fires, and the crowd at this stage seems very well behaved. People are leaving the ground. Hopefully they're listening to 97.7 FM. Here's a surge from Cranbourne. It's through Jones. Ryan Jones goes long all the way. Bataclan reads the play nicely. Just pushed off Holton, took the mark. He plays on. He ignores White, decides to go longer, bouncing football for Damien Johnson. Now White gets into it. Look at the man's run. The hand pass there towards Lincolns. Can he break the tackle of Gearon? He can't. He just hand pass into space and runs after it again. Lincolns kicks the ball forward. Mislicky in front of Murphy. Just pulled up a little bit lame there, Mislicky. But won't matter at this stage of the game, you would think. Was it a cramp? It doesn't matter. Mislicky's pass towards Dodsworth. Now McPherson is going to take the game on. Goes inboard to Damien Swaja. Swaja from 40 metres out. Swaja has a shot on goal. There's the siren. Loose football. And it doesn't matter. The game is over. 14-8-92 Beaconsfield have defeated Cranbourne 5-8-38. And there's people just streaming onto the ground everywhere to celebrate.
Yeah, I wonder if Clint Jones' sister's listening now. She's got past the birthday celebrations, and she wants to send a cheerio to her brother again. It's been a great effort today by Beaconsfield in a great last 12 weeks.
Well, this is a celebration like we haven't seen before. We might see if Trent Knight's close to the action.
Boys, just have a look down on the ground as Clint Evans and Scott Sutherland come together at the end of the game, straight to the coach.
We did it! He played driven, and it's everything he did today, commitment, and yeah, you're going to spend the next few days. But I said, unbelievable.
Just stand on the side on the way.
Yeah.
Enjoy this, Clippy! Enjoy this, Clippy! Enjoy it! You're a very good Clippy! Yeah, I can't.
Come down the side.
All the guys on the back step, come down the side. Boys!
Go guys, spread down around the sides.
Don't miss out.
Coach, guys in the front, you can go onto your knees if you want.
Yeah.
Always looks good to have someone sitting.
Come right down. Bring your thighs down.
You, mate, come down. Yeah. Don't pull the pennant up too much, we won't see your face.
Guys on the sides, come down a bit, make it a bit wider. Come down the side.
Come back. Quite a wide lens.
Come down. Come back. Righto.